Live streaming is on.
Just a second, just getting technical difficulties here. Anyways, greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. And here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes. We talk about sport flying, competition flying, and we do show and tells, and also what have you done in your shop or at the flying field lately. Now, to join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthanger Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthanger.com. When you register, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, who is the proprietor of Stunthanger, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just want to watch us on YouTube, that's great, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I will do my best to make your comments part of the show. Now, mind you, sometimes we get into conversations and I can't even get in a word myself. So it might we might have gone on to a different subject, but I will still put your comments and questions in there. Now, if you find the Stunthanger Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please like, share, and subscribe. That helps the channel grow. And please consider joining our YouTube membership, starting at only $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of Stunthanger. And with your membership, you get special badges. There, you get unlimited replay of member-only videos, and only the members can see these videos. There's some videos of Al Rabe that he's posted, and some other videos he's posted. And Sparky once a month does a question and answer show for members only, and you have replays to those as well, unlimited. And you can also use the super chat that's located in the chat box on the YouTube channel and make your donations. You also can post your questions there, like I said earlier, and I'll make you part of the show. And with the show and the conversations, all I ask that you please keep the family room friendly. In other words, don't use words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and post the link now at stunthanger.com. And so you can, there it is. I just posted the link now. So hopefully I'll have some friends show up and some new guests show up, which is always exciting. New people always bring it just lifts the show. I just really look forward to it. So if you're thinking that it's just okay to hang out there and out there in the world, not coming in, we really do need new blood, as I call it, new blood. It kind of creates some excitement. Plus, I don't know if you guys have ever, I don't know if you remember, but when I was younger, we used to I go to parties, right? And then if you got tapped, sometimes you'd be invited to the after party. Okay, so what I'm talking about is after we do the show and we stop the stream, we continue going on. I mean, it's like, and it is pretty good. So I think the part that's streamed is pretty good, but the what goes on after we stop streaming is pretty good too. So you out there, you're not getting the full Monty, as they say. Yeah, there's a lot more going on than that. Well, looks like I'm going to fill some time, so I'm going to tell you I went out flying today, and with my chipmunk. It's a chipmunk. I think it's a scratch-built plane. I don't know if I posted any pictures of it yet, but it's coming along. It was windy out here in Escondido, California, where I fly, and I'm just kind of getting the RPM right for the plane. It was just really windy, so I just kind of took it easy. But the plane is showing some promise. But I'm really looking forward to. I have another plane. It's an Impact, the Paul Walker design, and what I'm really excited about with that plane is that I actually have the future power system that's going to go into my new plane that I'm building. And so I really am looking forward to flying the Impact just to get. I have a K77 on a tuned pipe, carbon fiber pipe, and I want to get that squared away. So when I finally get my new plane built, I'll basically move the power system out of the Impact, which I would have hopefully have figured out all the wrinkles and put that into the new plane. So then I'll just be worrying about the new plane. I mean, I'm hoping to get lots of flights on the Impact, try different props, um, try all different kind of things to see what really works for that engine. But anyways, I'm surprised there's no one in by now. Normally people are biting at the bit. I wonder what's going on. Let me see here. Looks like we have excellent connection, and I have 6 concurrent viewers. There's no one in the chat box yet. Let me pop this chat box out and move it a little bit. I don't have to twist my neck to see what's going on. Um, but anyways, getting back to the K77. That's a Ukrainian motor. Doesn't like nitro, as a matter of fact. At least mine haven't. I know Stephen McBride. Matter of fact, speaking of Stephen McBride, he's on the calendar for November, and so let me show you Stephen. So this is what one of our regular guys that show up here, Gary Sinclair. He's made these calendars, and so that's Stephen McBride with his. I think he's filling up his Patriot there, and it's a cutaway of him flying it in the back. So now that it's the December 4th, can you believe it? It's December already. It is amazing. So let me see, what does December? Oh, December is actually Gary Sinclair's scratch built plane. So hopefully Gary will join me. And so this is Gary's plane. Let me put that up. Can you see that? So this is what's going up for the month of December. It's a long, easy scratch built by Gary Sinclair in 2019 and photo by Gary Sinclair. So I guess we have to get some more pictures for the 2021 calendar, right? Yeah, let me put this away here and get that going. So anyways, I wonder where other people are at. I wonder if there is a problem. Let me see what's going on. If I did post the link, so it's there at the bench. Let me get to the at the bench here just a minute. Yeah, so I got the new link posted, and alrighty. So, and I believe, let me see if it looks like we're streaming. So, and I got 9 viewers out there. So, anyways, with the viewers out there, why don't you come on in? If you are already a member of Stunthangar, all you gotta do is go to the at the bench link, and you can come on in. Just hit the link. Now, if you're not a member, again, just go ahead and register at stunthangar.com. Now, most likely, if you're trying to register tonight, I don't know if Sparky is going to be able to approve you tonight. But I hope that some other people that are members of Stunthangar decide to come on in. That'd be great. So, anyways, one thing that the Impact is a really nice flying plane. I mean, it's I still see it at contests. Here we go.
Christmas.
Hey, John.
Hey,
Good.
congregate.
Hey, glad to have you come on in.
Yeah. Let me shut the sound off here. Listen to the radio. To the best possible way you can. There.
All right, and Gary.
Hey.
Hey, I just switched over the calendar, and it's you know who.
Yes. Yeah.
John, do you have the calendar, John?
The new one? The
Well,
old one?
The 2020.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so this month it's Gary Sinclair's Long Easy.
Ah.
So is that made out of foam?
Yeah.
Very good.
So was the original.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not really into RC, so I don't really know.
No, the original one you rode in was made out of foam.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is based upon a real aircraft?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got
Okay.
a friend that he built his. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing, man?
Good.
Hey,
How
Jeff.
are you?
I was thinking about you recently.
Oh no.
No, not bad. I'm just thinking, hey, it'd be nice for us to get together and get you that smoothie kit, and it's Christmas, and but we'll get together. I mean, there's no pressure.
Well,
No, I'm not even.
I had to get out of the shop tonight, so I figured I'd come in live.
Great, because there's no one else on the chat box.
Well, it's really cold down here tonight. It's in the 50s.
What is it?
55.
Yeah. You all know what it is here?
No.
What, 30?
Yeah, it's about 32.
Wow.
Could get down to about 60.
So I'm working on the paint stands for you guys.
Right.
Oh, super.
And I've got them. I've got the bases built. I got the wheels. You're up to about, I think it's $55 in parts.
Okay.
And I'm not going to charge you for time. My time is free. I'm retired. I get paid for sleeping, so I don't care.
Well,
nice. Appreciate it.
If I wasn't on Social Security as my only income, I'd argue with you, but I won't argue with you.
Oh, don't argue with me because I'm not charging you.
Oh, that's great, man. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. I really think painting a plane and being able to be comfortable and having the plane, in a safe, place, where it's rigid and it's in place and you can manipulate it. I think it's going to make for a fantastic paint job.
Okay, well, the difference is between your stand and mine is yours are height adjustable, where mine is not. Mine is 36 inches, like it or not. Yours is going to go from 30 to 50, somewhere between 30 and 48 to 30 to 50.
Wow. So you can do it
somewhere in there.
Well, that's great because my wingspan's about 60 inches anyway. So.
Well, you're at the lowest point, you're not going to clear your wingtip. At the midpoint, you'll be fine. At the highest point, you're no taller than me, so at the highest point, you probably won't even be able to reach it.
Yeah.
But then again, John's 6 foot tall, so he'll probably set his all the way up and be able to spray away. I mean,
well, it depends on whether I'm sitting down when I'm doing. My friend Gordon uses his. He uses his when he's sanding his plane, when he's sanding the coats on the paint, whether he's laying out trim, all that. He uses his a lot when he gets to that stage.
Okay, well, there's one thing I was gonna lay down for you guys, being that there's only a few of us in here right now. I'm gonna set this up, and I'm gonna use regular bolts instead of like the big star nuts that I used. I bought the star nuts at Rockler, and I mean you can get them online if you want to swap them out. Quarter 20
Okay.
is what I'm threading everything.
All right, good.
But what I've found is that with the big, what they call the star nuts, the bolts, the star locks, whatever they want to call them, they're in the way. So I
Okay.
would much rather swap mine out to be able to just use a wrench on it.
Right.
So I'm going to set your stands up where everything's going to be done with a 7/16 wrench.
Cool.
So everything will be quarter 20. You'll back off the bolt, rotate the airplane right to left. You'll back off the bolt, tilt it up and down. You'll back off the bolt and raise the stand up or down.
Very cool.
Everything's
Very
going to be set up. It's all going to be quarter 20. So if you want to change it to a star knob or whatever, I mean, you can do it.
Right. Right. I follow you.
I kind of tend to
I'll leave that up to you. Plus, it'll keep the cost down because those star knobs, you can get them on Amazon, but they're a pain in the butt to get, and you're gonna have to wait for them.
Right.
And I don't really want to wait that long. I've got them close enough to where it's almost ready to ship. I have no idea how much shipping is going to be. John, you're probably looking at around 60, 70 total.
Yeah.
And Charles is willing to drive up and pick his up. So, but
I'd be
then
willing to
again,
drive-
John, if you drove down here, it'd probably cost you $180 in gas just to get here.
That's what I was going to say. I'd pick it up, but it cost me twice that. Wouldn't cost that much in gas, but by the time I got round trip and a motel stay about halfway through one way, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you at? You're near Ogden?
No. I'm between Salt Lake and St. George.
Oh, Jesus, you're way up there.
Ogden's 100 miles, about 100, almost 180 miles further north of me.
Yeah, well, Ogden's really nice though.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ogden. We went mountain biking in Ogden one time. It took us forever to get there.
Yeah.
And I have never crashed so hard in my life. It's falling off the bike in Ogden, Utah.
Got to watch those places. If you fall off, you'll roll a long way.
I did.
Kind of like that guy in the commercial for Rolo's candy,
You know what? I resemble that remark. Yeah, I was rolling, and I asked the guys, I was at the bottom of the hill, I had to yell as loud as I could, where is my bike? So it's right here.
Okay.
And they reached over the tree and grabbed my bike and pulled it up. And I'm about 380 yards down the hill. Yeah, really? No, probably more like 50 feet, but it seemed like 300.
Seemed like that, yeah.
I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. But, I've been kind of busy this week. I've been working on the Vanguard. I finally got the tire built under my butt. And got a lot done. I'll show. I'll show it here in a little bit. We'll get a few more people here because. Oh well, heck, they can go in here and bring it up tomorrow. They want to see it.
Yeah, make them watch your reruns.
Yeah, let me bring it up. I'll bear with me while I.
Sure.
Hey, John, you still want pictures of the junkyard dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
You still want pictures of the junkyard dog?
Oh, absolutely.
All
hey,
right,
Peter, how's it going?
About the only way I have to send you the pictures of the junkyard is to, I have a scanner on my camera.
Okay.
And I can kind of take a picture of what I drew with a pencil. Will that do you any good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow,
I'll
that
send
looks
it to you.
nice.
That's kind
What do
of
you think?
cool.
I like that.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a bit odd, but
So
it's
the
cool.
stab and elevator in a dihedral, huh?
Well, it's a V-stab
And a
uh,
drop rudder.
and a bottom rudder. Yeah. I figure I want the tail wheel down there anyway, so why not just attach it to the stabilizer or vertical? Oh, it's not vertical. It's the ventral stabilize. Stabilize. There we go.
A
I
ventral
know I spit it
fin.
out.
So how big is the wingspan?
It's 577 square inches. I
Okay.
think
Probably 58 inches.
it's about 58 inches. Yeah, it's true. It's true elliptical. Um, it's interesting. This Dennis's brother is 3D printing these for Russell Honea at Oki Air, but mine is a little wider into here than the standard one he makes. So he made this one special for me, and it's kind of neat because it's front mount like this, and you notice I got my 2 inches down thrust there, Charles.
Yeah.
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 And the way I did it is I used the hinge point here right behind the spinner, so it actually raised the back up as well, so that I don't have the prop drooping way down lower.
Can I
And
ask you a
so,
question, John?
sure,
Where the hell's the cylinder?
it's right in here. It goes back and forth this way.
Oh, I thought that was the wing.
Now the wing's over here.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Interesting enough, and it didn't show up on this. I've had it's worked for me before, and it's shown up when I did it on I had it printed full size. But these lines here, they're supposed to be real phantom lines, almost like they got 70% transparency, and they're only 0.05 millimeters thick. They're very thin. And these, and I do that when I want to kind of do a phantom in the motor here and the battery box. And this is a ventral that hangs dead. It's mounted in the center, hangs down, and I've got air coming in here and around this prop. And that's where the timer and the ESC will be mounted in there. And the way it works is this whole canopy, it's got a double bottom. Anyway, it comes up here, and here, and it disconnects right here, lifts up and pulls out, and so everything. This is closed in to here, but everything from here forward is exposed, so you can get to everything that way. There doesn't have to have a bottom hatch on it at all, because there's the piece that's the top of this box is actually part of the bottom of the cowl mounting in here, and so that when it's locked in, that holds that in place. It tongues in up the front. Hold it now. When this is out, then you can take the bottom piece. It also hinges up and out, so you can pull it up and out, get it everything you want, put it back in, lock it in, and should be slick if it works the way I think it will. But anyway, getting back to these phantom lines, these are all done in phantom lines, so they show up just like a ghost line, very, 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 just a hint of being there. And so I because there's detail there, you lose it when you do a hidden line on stuff like this. It's just detailed. So I've been doing this for about 10 years, this kind of things. But that's what's going on there. The air that comes in here actually can exhaust out over the top of the wing and out right here. or it can come in through here and exhaust right out back here. So I've got plenty of exhaust, so it shouldn't. I made the mistake once of making my making my air inlet bigger than my outlet, and that doesn't work very well.
Right.
And getting back, this is something that Alan Brickhouse taught me a long time ago. Is doing these at an angle like this. That stops any twisting in your fuselage. It makes it very rigid. And seeing as how this is going to be either 1/16 or 3/32 balsa, that's all that's going to be. I wanted to make sure that,
Then you need that truss in there.
Yeah, and the thing is I've got several things I'm going to try in here on ones that are built after this. But for instance, I'm worried about the cost of balsa, and so I'm thinking about going with making one that'll be made with like 3/32 light ply, and it'll be really skeletonized. All of there won't be this many of those arcs up here or down there. Since formers. Since Bob told me about putting Z-epoxy on the inside of your formed wood, that took care of the problem that I was trying to avoid by having so many of them. But anyway, by skeletonizing it and that, I think I can get out with less cost and just as strong, if not stronger, than if it was all built like this is all out of balsa.
Hey,
So,
John,
yeah.
I started playing around after Bob started talking about the Z-epoxy.
Yeah.
I started playing around with buck molds and formed balsa wood just to see what I could do.
Uh-huh.
So I took my hot wire and I cut a shape, just kind of an odd shape. And I soaked my wood and I slathered some Z-epoxy on it and then thinned it, like credit carded it. So it's just the Z-epoxy. And then I strapped it around my buck mold that I made. It wasn't anything precision. It was just a shape. And then I wrapped it and let it dry overnight. So the water evaporated out of it. The Z-epoxy dried. I put the wax paper on top of the buck mold.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so stiff, it doesn't need formers.
Yeah, that's what Bob was telling me. Yeah. So I'm probably going to get rid of all of these formers up here.
As long as you Z-epoxy it, it comes out like steel.
Yeah,
but it stays light.
That's what he said, and I believe him. So I'm going to. What am I? Oh. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to try. Getting back to the light ply though, it'll be interesting because I'll make the ribs of everything. There'll be very little balsa in it. I've been thinking about it. This will be stringered with 1/8-inch square balsa, so that kind of like an old Cessna's or Piper's fuselage.
It'll be built like a Stearman.
Yeah, kind of like it. Back here, this also got a magnet set here and a little finger catch underneath there. Just lift that up, pull it back, and that exposes the horn completely, clear to here. But I'm going to actually cut this down a little and get it going at an angle here so that I can have more access to, because I'm going to use a ball link on a double horn set up here, and I need to have good access to that to be able to take it on, off, or adjust it. So, but anyway, that's it. I may do something different, make these just a little bit bigger, because I mean, I like the size they are right now, but there's just not enough room between the top of the wheel and the top of the wheel pad or spat. I guess that's what they call that kind. So anyway, any questions?
Yeah, back there at the rudder on your drawing, I see where the you have where the elevator horn is at, and then there's a line going straight up, and then there's an angle going back toward the front. What is that?
I mean, these here with the
No,
little arrows on. Oh,
I don't see.
this. Oh,
I don't
this.
see. I don't see a cursor. I don't know what you're
I
looking
don't
at.
see a cursor either.
Okay. Well, that if you look at the elevator above it, you'll see it's a counterbalance elevator.
Oh,
I have a
okay.
question about that when you get a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the purpose of a counterbalanced elevator?
Gives it makes the control a little. How would I put it?
I always
It
thought
gives
was
you a little
power
more.
steering.
It is kind of like power steering, yeah.
I always thought it was like power steering. If once you start to pull up, it wants to pull more.
Well, not quite that bad. What it does is it takes. There's only like maybe 1/20th or 1/10 of the area is in front of the hinge line, and all the rest of this, what it does, it takes some of the load off the elevator, makes it kind of like power steering, but it doesn't make it like you give it up and it wants to just could go up. That's what happens when you have it over-centered, like the flying stabs. When you get your pivot point too far back, yeah, though that's not what's going on here. Though you're getting some of the effect that you would get from a flying stab, you're not going to it's not going to overpower you. It's just going to allow you to finesse the controls a little bit more.
John, what airplane is this?
This is my Vanguard.
The front end of it reminds me a little bit of Keith Trossel's Tercel.
Does
That's
it?
That's a sharp looking little airplane.
It
What
is.
does kind of look like it?
I've never seen a Tercel.
That's a little half A that he won the Nats with, but it's a sharp looking plane with no rudder.
Oh, really?
No rudder. Yeah. The original. Now the RSM kits come. You got two choices of optional rudders, and then you got the original, which there was no rudder on the original. But it was a sharp little half A. I think I have a kit downstairs somewhere. I can't even. Yeah, I know I do. Little half A.
Well, I've been working on this Phil. I started in 2000, between 2010 and 2011, and then I got electrocuted, and a lot of things got set on aside until I got how would I put it? A little fire built under my buns to get moving on it again.
Well, I understand why.
Yeah,
that's sharp. That's really sharp. Is it elliptical?
Yeah.
Is the wing?
Yeah.
Oh man.
The wing is elliptical, and it's also a Warren Truss setup. It also has no flaps.
Oh me.
It's a flapless design, and here's the thinking on that. In talking with my good friend Gordon Delaney, he used to fly quite a bit of combat, and he was pretty good at it.
Uh-huh.
He came up with this combat airfoil, which they call ice cream cone airfoil, and
okay.
well, it's because it looks like an ice cream cone laying on its
Kind of
side.
does. It kind of does.
And so he built them, and they were okay. But when he put a trailing edge, a fixed trailing edge on it, a flat one out there, it flew better. And then he thought about the Aldrich's flight streak. He's got a nice airfoil and all that there, but if you build one and fly it without that fixed flap back there, it doesn't turn as well.
No.
Or it doesn't, as it does with that. And the reason being, for instance, this plane is flying. You're going towards the, flying through the air, and your air is when you give it any up or down, any control, your wing for an instant, your wing is at a higher angle of attack, and that wind hits and it comes back, but that stationary flap is actually taking the form, when you compare it to the form of the wing coming into it, it now has got about 7 degrees of down flap.
Wow.
For an instant.
Yeah.
Lay out an airfoil and then put a stationary flap on it and twist it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And that's what we think does the job on it, is that for a short period of time while you got that high angle of attack, it's acting like it has a little bit of flap deployed. Now, a fellow in Australia found out that on his stunner he only needed 7 degrees of flap. And he had to adjust, and so you don't need as much flap if you're not flying a porker. So so anyway, so this is set up with an electrical wing with a stationary flap on it right here. And the idea is explore explore a little bit further the ideas or the envelope of flapless stunners. I frankly think they can be made to do pretty good. Maybe it's hard to say. They may not. Who knows? Until it's tried, we don't know. Now,
That's true.
But I'm willing. I'm not a top notch #1 rated in the world, or number 10, number 100, number 5,000 in the world flyer. So I don't have a whole lot to lose. Where the guys who are up there near the top, they can't afford to take their time out from if they want to remain competitive and stay at that level and experiment around with some of these offshoots. And so I get to do it, and I'm having fun with it.
Well, I tell you what, that's neat. That's the kind of madness I like to get into. But talking about planes that don't have flaps, 2 of the best flying planes that I own right now are the Teosaki and the Humbug. Neither one of them have flaps.
Right. I got to watch Bob Barron win the VSC with his 28 Royal 28 bar VSC version of the Humbug. Got to spend a lot of time with Netzaban talking about it. A few other things. Here's another little feature back here. You notice this weird thing back here. This is actually showing the flaps at full, or the elevator at full deployment. And I had to do that to try to figure out how I was going to set up the control, because a lot of people set up 2 horns and a splitter, why I'd do it that way. I didn't want to go that way. I firmly believe in using what are called lucky boxes. And here are the lucky boxes right here.
Yeah.
Now, I had the key was, since it's an angle, you gotta limit how far out on this way that you put your out from the fuselage, that you put your flap, your elevator, parts that slide into the elevator. You know what I mean?
Okay, the tangs.
Yeah, the ends. And so and the other problem is because on it, if I'd made it straight, I'd be bumping into the fuselage back in the back there.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out what the angle had to be to come up and not bump into the fuselage. What I wanted 35 degrees of rotation each direction. And so then I found out that I had to, because of that, I had to bend the end of the flap up. The tang that goes in. Had to blend that up to the same angle as the stabbing elevator. But once I did it, what happens is as it moves, they slide inside that lucky box. And that gives them that. And believe me, I've used them on my All-American Eagle, and they're frictionless. They're just very smooth, very easy to operate. And so anyway, these are a little bit wider than what I used before, but in email with Keith. He was using them on a plane he flew competitively that had 40 degrees of stabbing elevator, 40 degrees
Yeah.
on each side.
Yeah.
And he had lucky boxes on him, and he said he had no problem with it. They didn't do anything weird or unusual, and they were very smooth.
Well, I'll tell you
So
what,
that's a little bit,
that's neat.
yeah. Well, I
I'm
appreciate
glad
it.
to see one thing.
And if
I'm really glad to see one thing on it. You got a 3-blade prop drawn. That plane would not look right with a 2-blade prop.
no, it wouldn't, would it?
No, don't go conventional. This thing is this is just weird enough to really intrigue me. I like this. I love elliptical wings. You've got a printed nose holder, motor holder in it. That is
Yeah.
just sharp.
Well,
Are you
thank you.
building it yet?
No, I've got to finish the plans up before I build it because I need to have my pattern sheets to cut all the parts.
Yeah. I like that. That's a neat plane.
It looks good.
That is a neat plane.
Okay,
Good
well,
gracious.
I thought I'd share with you. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
You
enjoyed
did
it.
well, sir. Yeah, I do enjoy that. That's neat. I like the stuff that's just a little offbeat or different. I always loved Dennis Adamisson's stuff because he was V-Tails and all that stuff, or the Adamison brothers. I'm not sure which one of them flew it, but it's hard to
Yeah,
believe
they're both.
it was hard to believe it was Dennis because I remember the kid that was flying it, and it's hard to believe Denny is that old.
Yeah. I
Now,
was
keep in
talking to
mind
you.
when I saw him fly, I was 19. Things
Yeah,
have changed a bit. But
yeah.
that's
It's hard to
sharp.
believe you're that old, right?
Yeah, it really is. I didn't expect to live this long. That's not all the stupid stuff I did as a youngster.
So, John, how are you going to attach that tail wheel?
Oh, that the core of the ventral rudder is 3/16 inch balsa. It's got 64th ply on both sides to stiffen it up to take the side loads.
Okay.
Okay, and so I've got a piece of 1/32 ply on the outside. That's what that little funny line was. It went up, goes up
Okay.
this way to the back,
Right.
and that's all supporting that tail wheel in there.
All right.
So
Is that tail wheel going to be sandwiched between pieces of wood, or is it going to be on one side or the other of the rudder?
well, it's going to be between the 64th ply pieces and that 1/32 piece on
Okay.
each side. So that's all in there to stiffen that up and to take the side loads.
Okay. Did you
That
see
ought to
that
be
wheel
neat.
that Sparky's friend John Jordan made for him for his Mega or Mother Tucker? You see the wheel that John Jordan made?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's a beautiful machined wheel out of aluminum, and then he put an O-ring around the wheel for a tire.
Wow, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a perfect thin disc that he machined, and then it has an O-ring for a tire, and it fits up
Wow.
inside it's sandwiched in the bottom part of that
That little ventral fin.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's gonna be neat.
I'm
That'd
going to
be
look
neat.
into that. That might be something well worth looking into.
Yeah,
I think
you
if
might.
I used it out of plastic, I could make it on my drill press.
True.
You could make it out of aluminum on your drill press. All you got to do is just be easy with your file.
Oh yeah.
You got to be easy and accurate with your file. I mean, you just got to hit it where you want to hit it.
Well, wouldn't you want to be using a little oil when they're cutting so you don't gall it?
Not with aluminum. You don't need it with aluminum.
Because I've busted off drill bits when I drilled into aluminum where it galled and grabbed it.
That's because you're pushing too hard.
I know I was in a hurry.
Yeah. You got to relax when you're
We've
drilling.
all been
it's
there.
like drilling stainless steel. You're drilling stainless steel, you turn it slow and you push really hard.
Oh yeah.
Drilling aluminum, you turn fast and you don't push really hard.
Oh,
I worked.
okay.
I worked metal. I worked metal too long. I did steel. I did high iron. I did steel. I did sheet metal. Mostly, what I did was decorative sheet metal. I worked with a lot of copper, brass, stainless.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff. I did kitchen equipment. I did tray rails for cafeterias.
Well,
I can.
you got the knowledge when it comes out. Now, if you want to know anything about drywall, I did 40 years of that.
Yeah, I know if you hit it with a hammer, it pokes a hole in it.
Yeah, but that's the easy part. But how to fix it so you can't see it? That's the
That's the one part
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't
Yeah,
rub.
you got a
know.
hole this big and you got a patch this big so that they
yep.
don't show.
That's
Yeah,
true.
normally I get a hole this big and I got a patch that big
Yeah,
because I
been there, done
suck
that.
at patching drywall.
Can I share my latest video on the
Yeah, go ahead, John. I
Of
mean,
course you
Tom.
can, Tom.
By the way, hi, Mark. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Hi,
how are
Mark.
you
Is that Mark in there?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Lumen.
Yeah, he's up there hiding out.
He's
doing? Yeah,
is he back from? Wasn't he down in
Oh,
Argentina?
look at that.
yeah. I
Look
was
at that.
Argentina last week, and I'm back in Lagos this week. So yeah,
Oh, geez.
Oh, that looks
yeah.
good.
All right.
Man loves to travel, evidently.
That's his job.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but
What
That
you
looks
do?
good, Tom.
All right.
Tom, that's neat. Oh, look at this. Oh, ain't you slick?
Oh, that is slick. Did you put springs in that latch too, Tom?
Yeah, I got that out of a ballpoint pen.
Very neat.
That's pretty thrifty. I like that.
Battery
That is
fits
neat.
right in the fuselage.
That's just sharp. I like that.
I used the plan from the profile flight streak and just built this fuselage off of that.
That
Did a
thing
good
should
job.
fly pretty good.
It really does. It looks nice.
You gonna have a single wheel landing gear or two wheels? What are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
it's got a single wheel.
Unicycle. I love it.
It's easier to rotate that way.
Put a Fox
I tore up
35
more
on it. It'd be
planes.
perfect.
I tore up more planes trying to learn to land on one wheel. I finally gave up, just put two on it. Never had another problem.
You know what you do is you put a pillow on the outboard wing. So when you try
Yeah.
to take off, it holds it flat. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
biggest problem to get in that plane where it takes off flat. And just put a pillow on it. And
Doesn't
Seems to
it
work.
kind of fly tip down with that pillow strapped to it?
Yeah, but it bounces when
it's
you land.
just there to take off. It leaves the pillow behind. It's just when it's just laying there. I mean, mostly when you have a
I'm kidding.
stooge. I mean, I did that when I had a stooge, so I was by myself.
Just-
I had no one to help me.
The only thing you got to remember if you do that way is use your wife's pillow because it's awful sticky to lay on.
How long you been married now, Phil?
46
I got a
years.
question for Mark there. I'm just dying to know. Did you ever find one, a hobby shop, and two, that fellow that makes the Snorer engines?
Yes and yes.
Really?
Unfortunately, the stores were closed because the China virus, whatever you want to call it now, was just all over Buenos Aires. So, but oddly enough, I found the guy who originally manufactured the Snorers. He has, I guess, partnered up with another large company, and is going to start producing again.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
And I've actually got two of the engines. I told him, look, I'm a newbie at this, but I certainly can get it to some people who can give you some good feedback and, stuff like that. So, yeah. So that was kind of a success. I was hoping while I was down there to get a couple of things that I'm out of here in Africa, it's like, but none of the hobby stores were open. Couldn't get nothing. So, The local Hobby Lobby in Lagos, Nigeria is null and void. There is no such thing.
You might have to get it shipped into you out of Germany or somewhere.
I can get it shipped in, but it's one of those things where customs and duty and it's just a mess, So I'm,
Yeah.
He don't know if he's ever going to be home to get it.
Well, I was thinking there's the other. As much as he's flying around the world, he might wind up in Japan or Taiwan or somewhere where there's plenty of hobby stores.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully I'll get home about the middle of this month. So, yeah, need to stay home a little bit. Yeah.
So
Steve has arrived.
The Flight Streak weighs 23.5 ounces or 23.5 ounces.
That's pretty good.
Is that with the battery?
With the battery.
Wow.
The only thing that's not in there, I don't have a timer in there. So that's without a timer.
That's light. That ought to be a good flyer.
It took start to finish. It took 12 days to build from scratch.
Wow.
A day and a.
And you got it painted. Is that painted?
No, it's monocoat.
It's the monocoat.
Okay. Even at that, I can't build that fast. I don't build that fast. I probably could, but I never do. I got this new hotter net is that thing. I built one years ago and decided that I would never do that again. Side mounted engine. Somebody told me when I first started building it, don't even try to fly it slow, it won't work. But I kept thinking, I got to find out what it will do with a 25 in it. I know what it'll do with a Fox 35. What'll it do with a much lighter OS 25? Flies pretty good. It still won't fly slow. Still won't fly slow. That airfoil is just too sharp, I guess, and too small. But whatever.
So I have 4 videos on my YouTube channel about building the Flight Streak. So if you're interested, just look up either Tom Space Ramble or Flight Streak on YouTube, and you'll find it.
I watched them the other night, Tom. It was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna add, I liked it too. I was wondering how long it takes to get the ribs.
You're going to try to get a wing set out of him, aren't you, there, Steve?
to get a set of ribs?
Hey, Tom, while you're cutting ribs, cut me a set for another smoothie.
Well, Tom, we know it's getting cold. You ain't going to have anything to do there in Minnesota.
What do you mean getting cold? It's cold here.
So we might as well keep you ribs, and you won't go get that winter
cabin fever. Yeah, we'll get cabin fever.
Yeah.
Hey Tom, just so you don't feel alone, it's cold here in California too. It's 55.
Oh, hooey. Hooey. 55.
Oh, brother.
It's too cold to work outside. It's 55, man.
It was 17 here yesterday.
I'm hurting for you. Spoiled Californians, I'm telling you.
It's 17. Yeah. What's that?
That's one more than 16.
It's one less than 18.
Well, somewhere in there, she's legal.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Mississippi.
I went flying today. It was like 79 degrees down here in Escondido.
Sounds like John's looking forward to getting another roommate.
No, I tell you what, I found something out. Being at this point in my life, I don't work real well with having the responsibility of having a spouse. I just got too much stuff that I want to do for myself, and they got too many ideas of what they think I ought to be doing. So I kind of like that I could go and spend the whole day in the shop or in here working on the computer, or I can go out and hop, skip, and jump around the block or whatever. Doesn't matter because I'm the only one that has to answer for it.
Yeah, but John, we're not saying for you to own anything. Just rent for a while to see how it works.
No, I tell you what, you rent for a while, they usually wind up. It usually winds up bad for you.
Usually,
One way or
usually
another.
wind up owning it whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Well, back
Well,
tomorrow.
Gary, wake up, Gary.
I know it's hard.
Wake up, Gary. Start talking or something. I see you're yawning. Next thing you know, you'll be sleeping. You got to keep you awake.
I got
Hey,
something.
Gary.
Yeah, be sleeping. No sleeping, Gary.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
Len.
Gary, I do like your Christmas shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Looks
I'm
good.
not.
Do you want to say something, Gary?
What?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gary.
In the mornings, I get on my camera or my phone, and I call Google up, and this gets some little things that comes up, all the different stories all over the states, And then I come up with this one here on the 1928 80A-1 airliner. And this guy's made it. His name is Guy Forshee. I don't know whether you know him or not. I don't know him. And it's 1/8 scale, and it's 40 pounds. And he's going to try to fly, and it's radio control, and he's going to try to fly it this spring. So he'll say, he'll really be nervous when he goes to fly.
Wow.
40 pounds?
Yeah, that's heavy, isn't it? Gee,
You probably had to fill it with helium.
What big is it?
It's got all kinds of stuff, he said. I mean, the toilet paper rolls and stuff and everything, all the detail and the whole thing. He's really put 5 years in it.
Oh, it's a scale plane?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be in the AMA magazine, I think, in February.
Okay. Yeah, I just got my AMA magazine a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Did you notice that article in there? Did you notice that article by that guy that was using radio control to work the elevator?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, electric control line. Yeah. Looked like
Uniline, he calls it.
Yeah.
And yet,
that's a little too weird
looks like
for
he
me.
did the up and down with that little wheel on the side there.
That was a little too weird for me. I just, you're going to run cars. But if you're going to do RC, go fly RC. You got the complication of both there.
Yeah.
Well, this way though, when you crash it, you don't have to walk that far.
Yeah, I was gonna. You know how?
Oh, brother.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like the idea either. It's just not very kosher. But there's they had a big discussion on the forum last year, or the year before. A guy, I think it was Ken Bird, came up with try to work a system like that, and boy, they put him down in a big hurry.
Yeah, I was reading this. I was reading this week on the forum. I finally got some time to sit down and had the time and the interest in reading a little bit. I sat down and read about rebuilding the Nobler. Charlie Reeves did, and somehow that led into a discussion on, of all things, handles and the way you hold your handle and all. I got thinking about it. They're right. Holding your hand straight instead of holding your hand biased probably is a better deal. But I've got to try that when I get back out there, because I've flown biased for years. It's going to be learning all over for me, but I'm going to do it.
Well,
but then I'm flying. Go ahead.
At first, you'll feel like you're holding up all the time, but then you get used to it.
Yeah.
I always hold hands biased because my girlfriends are always taller than me because I'm so short. So I gotta.
Phil, you actually have a biased handle that you fly with?
Yeah, I fly. It's if you look at a pistol, I talked to George Aldrich, and was at VSC, and I was talking to George Aldrich, and he said, well, every pistol that you buy, that you hold it, they don't have straight handles, and most of them don't. Some of them do now, but most of them, they're bent at 17 degrees. Put your handle biased at 17 degrees, your handle biased at 17 degrees, but have the wire, the bar, straight up and down.
Right.
and try that. So I came home and tried it. About crashed a couple airplanes, but I did learn how to fly it, and that's the way I've been flying ever since. But now with these, I don't know what to call it, the straight handles that have no wire through it, they just hook up top and bottom.
Solid point. Hard
The hard
point.
point?
Yeah, there you go. There's no way to bias it unless you build a
Hard
handle
point.
that way. But if you hold your handle,
Hard point.
there you go. If you hold your handle though, where the handle's straight, and you put your hand around it, and you hold it straight, you don't hold it like you hold a gun. You hold it just in your fingertips. Just your fingertips are on, and you actually fly. I fly with those two fingers anyway. But if you fly at the straight handle and you fly it just on your fingertips, all you got to hold it with is these two fingers. And it can't get away. You just pull it back with your little finger or let it out with your little finger. And it seems that they made a compelling argument. I'm going to try it, see what happens. But
Thing is, when you're holding your handle biased like that,
yeah,
it's harder to give it down than it is to give it up.
it's
You don't
easier
have
to
as
give
much.
it.
You don't have as much motion without raising your elbow to give it down.
For sure.
Well,
I agree.
I don't know. I figure I had to have it biased, so I got some up to give without yanking my whole arm. Well, I broke my wrist a couple times, so maybe that's part of the reason. But anyway, now they're telling me just fly like this. Basically, you're just moving, just your middle finger is doing most of the work. I'm gonna try it. Sounds like it could work. But the other thing they talked about that got me interested, they were talking about Keith Trostle's his wiggle rudder system. He uses a cam in the back of the plane.
Yep.
And he showed me that in 1977 in the back of the TA-152 he just won the Nats with. But I didn't really understand what I was seeing. And now I remember enough of it to remember I got to try that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to try to get in touch with Keith and see if he'll tell me more about how it works, because I think I understand, but that could get heavy quick. Nylon block back there and a follower. So
I think his are made out of plywood.
Do what?
I think his are made out of plywood.
Plywood. Back then there were nylon. Plywood would be lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen an article about it that explains his cam system. I don't remember where I saw the article, but it was an in-depth article about it.
If you see it, I'd sure like to read it. If you see it somewhere,
I don't know where it's at, but I'm sure Keith knows.
I'll try to get in touch with Keith.
Keith has the world's largest control line library in the world right now.
I don't doubt that a bit. I'll tell you what I'd like to find from Keith. I got to get in touch with Keith. I got to find his phone number and call him. I'd like to get that article, and I'd like to get another. He used to have a Bearcat that he flew in Navy carrier. Wasn't that big, but man, it was cute. I built one. And somehow in moving, it just disappeared. Never found it. I've been here 28 years, and I haven't found it. I think one of my movers relieved me of it. So I got to get up with Keith and try to find the plans for that thing again. But anyway, just weird thing.
Phil, is what you're talking about something like a Raby rudder, or what? What is it?
It's a Raby rudder. It's a Raby rudder, but the Raby rudder, when you give it down, when your elevator goes down, the Raby rudder pulls in. When you give it up, it actually goes more toward neutral. This one of Keith's gives you more positive either way. There is no going back neutral. It's always moving positive, but it only moves 1/8 of an inch. He says you don't need more than 1/8 of an inch of movement. And that's what I've been playing around with Raby rudder now for 2 years. And that's what I've come up with. If you're moving it more than 1/8 of an inch, you're going too much.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. My red Strega has a Raby rudder on it, and when I first had it, the first setup, it was moving so much that when I did the horizontal figure 8, I could see the plane yaw in and out at the intersection.
With you.
Exactly. Doesn't take.
So I just repositioned the position of the horn to make it so it's not so. Yeah.
What you can do, what's weird, the elevator's up here, and everybody says just put it down a little bit. If you put that thing down 45 degrees, put it down at the bottom of the rudder, and move it just moves just right. And when it goes up, when the elevator goes up, it'll actually pull again. So you'll actually get positive again. That's the way it is on my Bearcat now. But
Yeah, that's how
Raby's Bearcat, let me tell you, that's a neat airplane, but there's a lot more technology in that thing and a lot more to learn. I thought I was a pretty good modeler, and I started trying to tackle that thing. Raby is a smart individual.
Yeah.
He is one smart cat. I credit him more with.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I give Bob Hunt credit for a lot of the building
I agree.
techniques that I use. A lot
I
of
agree.
them. But Al Raby is the king of molding. I know Bill Werwich does a lot of molding. Bob Hunt does a lot of molding, but Al Raby is the one who got molding started, and got everybody believing this is the way to go. And heck, I'm even molding fuselages now. My fuselage sides aren't straight anymore; they're curved.
Yep.
They're a lot stronger. So it's I used to call Ray Al a couple times a week and talk for an hour or so when I was building my Bearcat, and he could tell you things you wouldn't think about. It's not that they're that far out there. It's just things that you don't think about. You take it for granted. And Al is just, he has a way of making you understand what he's telling you. Other people tell you and it goes over your head. And some people seem to like to talk where it goes over your head and they think they're so smart that you can't understand it.
Right.
That's not it. They just don't convey it in a way that you can understand it. Al can come down to your level where you understand it.
Well, that's
he's very
great.
good at that. Al Raby is quite an individual.
Yeah, he knows how to deliver.
That's it. Another one that's real good at that, if you can slow him down long enough to talk to him, is Bob Hunt. But you got to get Bob to slow down and just tell you, because he's a busy fella. Bobby stays busy. Steve, what are you doing?
Not too much. I've been trying to get John Paris to get on tonight, but he won't do it.
When are you going to town?
Huh?
When are you going to town?
I was going to go today, and then I didn't do it.
I'm going to give him a hard time.
It's just the deal to where the damn virus and stuff is so bad around here.
Yeah,
I've heard
that I don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
well, I can wait. I can wait. I don't want you getting sick.
For the first time yesterday, got my groceries through the pickup deal.
Yeah, I can't. I talk like I'm laughing at you about not wanting to go out, but we drive about 60 miles to go get groceries. There's a town up Pilot Mountain that their COVID cases are just nothing. So we drive up there to get stuff, and we still wear masks and wash our hands and the whole bit, just like whatever. But everybody up there does too. Maybe that's why they got 0 cases.
Yeah.
So,
and I see John.
Too.
That's right.
I see John Paris is on, or this is Jay, but I think
Jay.
that's John. Is that Jay?
It's Jay. J-A-Y.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Jay, a camera.
I'm trying to figure out why Lynn's not showing up.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a good
hearing.
I'm not showing up.
You guys know that John Paris is an engineer, automotive engineer, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I've been having him help me, and I figure I can show this because Charles always says when I talk about electric, all the people viewing it goes away or whatever.
Not just you. I mean, it's a joke.
I invented something, and we'll see how it works.
All right.
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid control line motor.
Let me see this.
Oh, it's an electric 46.
Oh my goodness.
No.
It's a hybrid. So that takes care of everybody.
Wow.
LA 46 and an electric starter.
Oh, good God.
I tell you what.
And what it is, it's better fuel mileage. This just goes in the tank compartment, and there's plenty of room because you don't need such a big tank.
Wow.
Jeez,
I
Steve,
told you guys in one day.
A hybrid, huh? So
I told you guys on one day.
Taking off, and then when you get in the air, the gas takes over.
Steve,
I told you guys on Monday that Steve stays up for 2 days writing material for the show. He did. He said 2 days.
Never has.
Actually, this only took me an hour. But
Steve, you laugh about that, but if you look on the web, they have a 049
Still too
that
long.
they put on the front of a small electric motor, make it look for the old time.
yeah,
free
I
flight.
seen that. I seen
To
that
make
when
it-
I take it one step further, but I got to get Tom. I got to get Tom to help me write the programming for the ESC.
So,
Brother,
Phil,
you are a little bit warped.
hey, Phil, that site is called willynillies.com, and they're an electric motor site. And they make an 049 and an 020 plastic 3D printed that you plug an electric motor into the back. It's just a plastic 3D printed motor, the 049 or the 020, and you can hang it on your little park flyer and make it look like it's
Very quiet.
Yes.
There's John Paris, but he ain't turning nothing on.
Well, I saw that the other night. I thought that was the cutest thing. And Steve just came up with that one. I thought, how about that? That's pretty neat.
Oh,
Well, you know he isn't turning anything on.
You know what, though? The one thing I did find out is that this is the electric motor that I thought we sucked in some grass into it when Samantha was flying and it seized up. Well, I had to move the shaft on it so it would
That
stick
can't
in
be
there.
true. Electric have a problem.
But what it was a split washer had got in there into the magnets, and it actually broke a magnet and had wedged itself in. When I took it apart, I found that damn split washer. So somehow this thing got close to a split washer, and the magnets picked it up, and it got inside the motor.
So, Steve,
They got a heck of a magnet.
What's
Steve,
that?
Does that muffler actually quiet down that electric motor?
No. It just doesn't make the engine work so hard. But I figured, we could triple the horsepower of a Fox 35 with this.
That's not a muffler. That's a 1.21 gigawatt flux capacitor.
Hey, Steve, have you worked on the tune pipe version of that model?
I can.
Okay.
Well, Steve, now, you're missing the boat. See, if you'd work it out right, you'd have counter-rotating props.
Oh.
Yeah, but somebody already invented that part, so I didn't want to steal off their technology.
You're so kind.
Baby steps, John. Don't push Steve too hard.
It's getting deep in here.
You guys, I think Mike wants to say something. Mike Wonky, is that right?
Actually, I'd like to ask Mark Lumen, who's new here that I don't know. Do you happen to have a sister named Beth Lumen that's a skydiver by any chance?
Well, that used to be, that's my ex-wife, actually. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mark. I skydived with Beth at Napoleon Skydiving Center. Mike Pilser's. I've met you. I have met you.
Absolutely.
Back in when Flip Comer owned the Drop Zone, when he opened it in 1995, 1994. I met you. You're Beth's husband. You're Mark Lumen.
That's me.
Oh my God. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, I used to
Small world, huh?
I saw your name and I was like, the only other Lumen I know is Beth, and she was married to a guy named Mark. Didn't you own some airplanes? Weren't you a jump pilot too?
Yeah. We had a bunch of stuff back then. But I bring the DC-3 out there every now and then and goof around in the Stearman out at Napoleon. And then, who's the guy that took it over from Flip?
Mike Pelzer.
Mike Pelzer. Okay. Yeah. I helped him with a couple of airplanes out there. So.
I worked at Napoleon for 10 seasons. I worked there for 10 years as a jump master and a tandem master and a video guy. I learned to skydive.
That's great,
Yeah.
I was. I grew up in North Carolina, or skydiving after I got out of the Marine Corps. Was with Franklin County Sport Parachute Team with Paul Fayard.
Paul Fayard's play. Yeah, we had one of his otters for a while.
Yeah,
we had
exactly.
one of his, polar bear otters for a while. Holy cow. Guys, I know this don't mean nothing to you, but this is mind blown because this cat and I go back to the same people from like 30 years ago in skydiving, which is nuts. Which is nuts.
No kidding.
Yeah. I knew Beth really well. You were already gone. I think I met you the first or second year, and then you were off working somewhere. But Beth was still there doing video and still photography, and she was still jumping there. You were off somewhere else working, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
But you didn't jump too.
That was the beginning of the divorce, probably.
Right.
Well, yeah, it might have been. It might have been.
That took 20 years.
Of course, you know, Flip got killed last year, right? 2 years ago.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Flip got killed in a plane crash, man.
In
Michigan, in Williamston.
Didn't know.
Flip Colmer, the guy that we're talking about, he's the guy that opened the drop zone in Michigan. He was the owner, had it for a couple years. He's a ex-F-18 Navy fighter pilot turned skydiver. And he had a Pitts and a Myers, and he had all kinds of crazy fast airplanes. But he was killed last year on a test flight in Williamston, Michigan, in a small airplane. No, not a Pitts. Not a Pitt.
It wasn't a Pitts? Okay.
No, he wasn't killed in Pitts. He wasn't killed in Pitts. It was a
low famous.
It was.
I can't remember who it was.
Well, anyway, Mark,
you don't jump too, though. Do you jump too, Mark?
I did years and years. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say he had good sense because see, I don't understand. I've flown the plane a few times, but they keep trying to get me to strap on that little piece of silk, and I said, as long as these wings work, I'm staying in this metal box.
There you go.
You guys jump out the door. Just
Mark, were you flying Mr. Douglas, that DC-3?
I did a couple times, but I was so busy. They were trying to get me to go around the circuit, but I was just so busy with work. You
know it's being refurbished right now here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. I live in Nashville, so Mr. Douglas is an hour away from me, and it's actually right next to the RC club that I belong to. And actually, I worked at Tennessee Skydiving Center in Tullahoma with Chris Martin from Precision. You remember Precision? Chris Martin from he was killed about 15 years ago out in Arizona. And then Mike Mullins took over the drop zone and all that. I'm sorry, I'm getting way off tangent from model airplane stuff. I'm just so excited to talk to an old skydiver guy, and we all know all the same people, man. It's funny. So what the hell are you doing on a control line model airplane forum? What are you doing here, man?
That was fun.
Where do you live now? Do you fly control line actively? And
I just got started, actually. I live in Atlanta when I can get home. Atlanta, and then Aiken, South Carolina is another place where I put my head. But just been busy this year with I fly, like I told these guys, I fly a Gulfstream and his helicopters and stuff like that. Individual. And actually, Dave Tribble got me started here. Let's say three months ago. Yeah,
you're Dave Tribble's son-in-law.
Close, almost.
Okay, so you were on here a month or two ago, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
He was in Africa then.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigeria.
Okay, now I remember your backstory and you're flying. Yes. Man, I never put it together when I saw you, the Mark Lumen name, but that's crazy. Your Beth's ex-husband, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I still keep in touch with all those people, man. Kathy Tipton and like that whole crew. All those people from that time at Napoleon, I'm still very, very good friends with, man. Small freaking world, brother. I'm glad you're a control line guy. Maybe we'll get to hook up at a concert somewhere and suck on some nitrous balloons or something, man.
Well,
Mark knows what I'm talking about. Mark knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, some of these skydiving activities after dark, legendary.
Yes.
Allegedly, yes.
All right. Well, I'll shut up for a minute. Let y'all get back. I do have some stuff to
Mike,
show.
you never bitch again about getting off the control line part of shit.
Well, it was aviation related.
No wells.
Aviation.
Look at that down, Charles.
All right, Mark.
I gotta bitch about stuff that he does.
Well, no, and not only that, Steve, I know this guy and we know the same people. I think that's
I know that. I know a lot of these people on here too I talk to.
That looks
Have
good,
you
Mark.
seen a guy that you haven't seen in 30 years and reconnected with him on this forum? And
you guys
you can allow
You just seen him on here a month ago.
Yeah, but I didn't put it together.
Oh, okay.
What motor's in it?
This is getting
Mark,
funny.
what motor's going in it?
Well, I've got a McCoy 35. Yeah. Probably do the 35. Yeah.
That'd be a good one for that.
Mark,
Yeah.
that is probably
Hard to
one
beat.
of my favorite airplanes.
Yeah.
Me too. They're great.
Does it have flaps, or did you activate the
No.
flaps, or no?
No, just solid.
You get straight ups. Okay, it'll fly big. It'll fly great.
Like I say, it's will be my first flyer, so You're
gonna put a
That's
McCoy
awesome.
on it?
Nice job.
It is a nice
Yeah,
job.
I was talking about I use some Ultra Coat,
You're gonna put one of these on it?
great learning experience.
You're gonna put that motor on it?
That looks like exactly.
Yeah, that's a McCoy 35.
That is it.
Center hole, no less.
That was the first motor I ever flew with.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
There's going to be some long ass screws if he's going to put that motor on it from Atlanta all the way to California.
No, they're gonna have to be about 8,500 miles long.
Yeah, pretty close.
Let me see.
Oh, there it is. There's one
Another
just like
center
it.
hole.
Oh, nice.
So does mine have it?
I don't mean to sound ridiculous.
Yeah, mine has
But
it.
I spent years looking for a McCoy 35 center hole. All I had was the offset glow plugs.
Right.
And there's two of them. Two guys showing McCoy 35s, and both of them are center holes.
I actually have two.
What I do too now, but
My dad's got about 9 of them.
That's an early one too. It doesn't have the elongated support along the ends of the stack as well.
yeah, he's right.
I think this, I'm sure.
Which one runs better, the one with the center hole or the one with the offset?
Well, I always heard that the center hole runs better, but after running both, I can't tell a heck of a lot of difference, honestly.
The center hole runs more like a Fox. It runs a better 2.4.
Okay.
Better
The
2.4,
one without the center hole runs a wet 2-cycle.
What is it?
all the
People
time.
who run Foxes say they both run better.
What's that?
I said people who run Foxes say they both run better.
Foxes and McCoys are the best 2 engines you're ever going to find. I don't care about your PJ1s or your old.
The only beef I got
whatever you're
to
going
a
buy.
red hat, and I'd run a
care
bunch of
less.
them. I would
It's
run a
all
bunch of
about
red hats if you could run a
Fox.
muffler.
Here
If
we
you
go
could run a
again.
muffler. Yeah.
Well, I have one I got from Tom Lay that I can run a muffler on, but he hardens it.
Yeah. I have one from George Aldrich, but you got to have somebody has to have taken it apart and heat treated the piston, or it will overheat and seize on a muffler.
Yep.
I have a Fox that I got from Sparky that I run on a tongue muffler, and it runs fine. And I have 4 Fox motors that I got from Minnesota Mike. 2 of them actually run great on mufflers, and they're stock Fox motors.
Oh, Foxes run great on mufflers, but that red hat's another story.
You got to make
McCoy. No, no. You don't put a muffler on a McCoy. No, that just does not happen.
That's what we're saying.
Oh, John would probably know. What's the guy's name there that has the mufflers he makes for the McCoys, John? Go to his house for hot dog.
Oh, Randy Ryan. He makes
Randy
a spring attached tongue muffler that works pretty good.
I have a Ryan muffler for a K&B motor.
I don't know if he. I tried to show everybody how he makes the mufflers and then uses a spring to hold them on.
Right.
And
yeah, it's a good concept if you can see the muffler on the engine. It's kind of hard to explain though.
Yeah, he makes that T part and he bends that around a piece of wood, and that matches the diameter of the muffler. And then he takes and wraps that around that, and that goes over the stack. And this part here bends up, and that closes this off. But this muffler he makes is about, I don't know, probably that long. It's a lot longer, and he's been running it for years, and it doesn't bother. It doesn't bother one of them.
That's a
But
good
yeah,
And the attachment method doesn't deflect the cylinder at all as well because it's not a high tension connection.
right. Yeah, you can't believe how good that thing runs, but it looks funny because that damn tongue muffler's got to be real long to get all the heat.
Yeah, it's probably about 3 inches long.
Yeah, but it really runs great.
And it's light, which is nice.
Super light. But it can be done, and I tried to get him to make me one, but he wouldn't. He just showed me how he did it. One of these days I may try and make one of them.
You should have bought the airplane with the engine on it. Then you could have had it.
Oh, he sold? I didn't know he sold it.
I think he had it up for sale for a while. I don't know if he's got it still for sale or not.
Yeah, that was...
And while I got airtime, hi, Len. Long time no see.
Hey, I was just going to say the same thing. John, how you doing?
Not too bad. There
How
we
you
are.
been?
There you go. Damn, he
Good
doesn't
stuff.
have a camera on
There
his...
we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Len,
I'm
turn
still
on
alive.
your camera.
Yeah, Lynn.
He might not be able to. He has problems when he does camera on and it gets all choppy and stuff.
Yeah, Len's got a face for radio.
It's that Canadian internet, man.
Don't
Oh,
be
Lord.
smart.
Well, they got the border closed down. They don't want to get any COVID come through the internet, you know.
It's
Oh,
metric
Lord.
internet. It doesn't.
That's right. We don't want any COVID coming through the internet.
I like
if
that,
it's
John.
metric, that means
internet.
he's only going to get a little piece of it.
Oh, me. You guys are really on tonight.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hey, it's Friday night, you know.
Yeah, Friday night.
Lynn, you come on here for a little fun and
Is that
fellowship.
Canadian
right.
technology? Only
That's
Moose
Friday
can
night.
see him.
You come
Hey,
on here for a little
Mark.
fun and fellowship, and you get made fun of. And
That's
talked down
right.
to.
Mark, are you on Stunthangar? You obviously have a Stunthangar,
Yes.
account, right? Are you on Facebook as well, or just
I am.
Stunthangar? I'm gonna find you, and we can private message each other a little bit of stuff. And you're in Atlanta. You're not too far. If your travels bring you through Nashville, maybe we can get together and fly a little bit, and reminisce about the old days of that other stuff. So I'll find you on another place.
Yeah, you bet.
That was like
Yeah.
a
Don't let him talk you into flying one of those combat jobs. Just screw you in the ground so fast you won't know what happened.
We'll bring him to the dark side, man.
Looks like
Yeah.
one got dead and got off. Damn.
And whatever you do, don't fly combat against this kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
His son is good.
Yeah.
I tell
His
you,
son is quite good.
some of Sam's videos, and you do a good job with your son, man. Hats off to you.
Oh, you seen video? Where'd you see the videos at?
YouTube.
Those are old, dude. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video of him in years. It's been
he flies much better now.
Yeah, there's one, Mike, by Will Davis of Sam flying. It's not that old.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Will Davis did make a video of Sam. Yeah, I thought you were talking about my channel, Mark. I stopped doing YouTube videos because I had to shoot it, edit it, upload it, and post it. So I just do the Facebook two clicks live, and then it's there. But I do have a YouTube channel that has Sam flying from the time he was 4 years old up to the time he was about 8 or 9 years old, and a lot of his progress when he was really, really, really young. But yeah, you saw Will's video of Sam, which is recent. Yeah, he's a pretty good little flyer. Speaking of Sam, and if I could have a minute, I do have some show and tell stuff.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
It's not, well, some of it's control line, but.
All right.
So I locked down the shop for since Monday. I think I talked to you guys Monday, and I told you I put together a couple of 3D RC airplanes for Sam.
Oh, nice.
This is a Great Plains Flatana 3D, just a foamy profile. This one's ready to go. It's ready to fly. And then the other one I did this week is the E-Flight Ultimate Biplane profile. This is also electric RC. I'm waiting on a motor and an ESC for it, but other than that, it's ready to go. And these are going to go.
Cool.
These are going to go under the tree from Santa on Christmas, because Sam has been putting in a lot of time on the real flight simulator. He's been flying a lot of 3D stuff on the sim, and he flies RC already. He's got remote control planes, but no 3D stuff. And so he asked, he's like, can I get a 3D electric foamy for Christmas? So
nice.
I had to lock down the shop for the last 5 days, like literally lock the garage door and lock the door to the shop so he could not get in here. Now they're done, so I'm going to take them over to a neighbor's house and hide them until Christmas.
Nice, man.
There you go.
I was there.
Was E-Flight a lot easier to put together than that other one?
They were both pretty easy, Steve, but I'll tell you, they're both from like 2005, 2008. These kits are.
Well,
the stuff they have today goes together way easier than these do.
Well, I know the old ones had like 10,000 parts that come with them.
They do. So the Flatana had 10,000 parts and was very hard. The E-Flight, the bite, was much easier. It already had the carbon rods put in the wings. Everything was already installed and glued and taped in. The other one, you had to glue every carbon fiber rod on. It was very intensive.
I looked and looked for that airplane. I must have thrown it away. I don't have it anymore. I quit on it because of all them damn shitting parts and stuff. And I'm like,
I showed you the parts carrier.
Yeah, that's the way.
Most of them in the build of the airplane. I mean, all these little tiny hinges and guides, and it was ridiculous. But it was a kit that I got at a swap meet for like $10, and it had the motor in it already. The motor was there, so I just had to put an ESC and servos in it, and it's ready to go. And the other one, I think I had to spend $35 for a motor and an ESC for it. So for next to nothing, he's going to have 2 airplanes under the tree from Santa. And I really struggled with just putting the kits under there or building the airplanes, because he would have benefited from building them with me, I think. But Santa doesn't leave kits. Santa leaves stuff that's ready to go, right? Doesn't he?
Well, the other thing is that Christmas afternoon, if the weather's nice, you can go out and fly.
Well, that's the point. I mean, yeah, what's the fun in getting a kit on Christmas, right? I mean, like I said, I went both ways because he would have benefited from building it with me and learning or assembling it.
Well, you still got 20 days to find one to stick under the tree.
I have another one. I actually have another one called the Tristiana from Hobby King. That's a foamy flat tonic,
Yeah.
It's a foamy 3D thing. So maybe I'll put a kit under there too.
Yeah.
And we can work on that over the Christmas break. So I got two more things to show you from Marshall Busby's estate that I picked up.
Don't make us jealous again, guys.
No. This stuff's not mine. I'm helping the guy out. I'm going to clean them up and get them going for him. And I want to ID this airplane anyway because I don't know what it is. Okay, does anybody know what this airplane is?
My camera view is not very. Is that a Banshee or
Real
what?
pixelated camera there, buddy.
Is this blurry for everybody?
Yeah. It's blurry for
Very.
all of us, Mike.
It's
Yeah,
blurry.
your camera's really blurry.
What if I
It's
bring it
heavily
in?
pixelated.
How about that?
That doesn't make any difference.
No.
On this one, Mike, you don't have enough bandwidth.
But
Nobody-
on YouTube, it looks okay. I'm watching the delay on YouTube. It's clear on YouTube, but it is a little pixelated on YouTube, just a little bit. But my camera is much worse than what I'm seeing on YouTube.
Let's see the tail of it.
Oh,
That's interesting.
Oh, what motor's on it, Mike?
I don't recognize that plane at all.
Well, there's an FP40 on it with just a stock OS needle valve. It's a big airplane. It has a huge wingspan, man. I mean,
What's he
it
asking?
It looks like a kit bashed Cardinal.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing, but the wingspan on this guy is ridiculous. Like it has a 59-inch wingspan on it.
Wow.
For a profile. It's monstrous big.
What is it? What is the airplane that Tom Morris builds so many of?
A Cavalier?
That's a Cavalier.
Yeah.
That's not it. That might be a Mo
The
Best.
tail ain't right for a Cavalier. Yeah, I guess the tips aren't right either.
The rudder, right? The rudder's
Yeah, the rudder's different and the tips on the Cavalier are different.
Could be a Mo Best.
And
but
here's the other giveaway.
wing.
I don't know if this means anything, but there's, the landing gear, which are metal, just wire gear, but they've got these big balsa pants on.
That's not a complaint.
No,
I mean, from what I can
don't
see,
know what it is.
Well, it's really dirty and the motor's seized up, but I'm gonna get it going for him for his brand.
What's it
Yeah,
gonna
you
do
might
with it,
put a
Mike?
picture on Stunthangar and somebody may recognize it.
Okay. And then the other one, I know what it is. This is,
Oh, I know what it is too. Yeah,
or-
that's pretty.
This is Marshall's Cavalier 650. So it's an oversized. If I'm still blurry, I apologize.
What motor's in that one?
Yeah, you're still blurry, but
That's why I got this one, and Tony asked me to bring it home. This has the PA. Well, I didn't know what it was. Tony didn't know what it was, but I called Randy Smith about 2 hours ago and asked him because I haven't had the cowl off it yet, so I can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
And I said, I got one of Marshall Busby's old airplanes, and he said, if it's the blue big Cavalier, the 650, that's a PA-40 side exhaust in there.
nice.
So that's what that is. It's a PA-40 side exhaust.
What are you gonna
And-
do with it? Sell it or what?
Well, dude, it's locked up from Castor, right?
Yeah.
It's locked up. I told Tony that I would take it off, get it free, or send it to Randy or whatever we had to do to get it going, and then I'm probably going to buy it from Tony. That was the other question I had for Randy, so that Tony knows pricing on it. Randy told me these motors sold for $309 when they were brand new.
Yeah.
Now I can make Tony a fair offer on it. If I can just get it freed up and it's good to go, then that's one thing. But if I got to send it to Randy and it needs bearings or whatever, because it's probably been sitting for 15 years like this.
Hey, Mike, try some of this. It's Marvel air tool oil, not.
I have it. I have it.
You got that?
Some of that.
Put that in. Put it in the glow plug and put it in the Venturi and see if you can get it in there. Let it set for a day. That 46 that I had, that was completely seized up, and I stuck it in there. I checked it after like 4 hours, and I got it to move a little bit, put a little bit more in there, and it'll spin over decent.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna force anything. I'll soak it and see if I can get it to budge. But if I can't, I'm just gonna box it up and send it to Randy and have him go through it, and then I'll make Tony a fair offer on it. But I think I'm gonna buy this one because I think this 40 side exhaust would make a nice profile motor for the Allen Brickhouse Buccaneer 746P that I have.
What are you gonna do with the airplane? You're not gonna buy it too?
No, I don't want the airplane. He wants the airplane for his grandson as a wall hanger. I don't want it. And it's you probably can't see it, Phil, in the pictures, but it's got a lot of tape on it. It's got a few holes in it. I think, though, with a restoration, this could probably be a pretty decent airplane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're neat planes. I can't tell. Is it D-tube or is it I-beam?
I don't know by looking at it.
Well, is the leading edge sheeted or are there a whole bunch of little ribs?
It's sheeted.
It's D-tube then.
Sheeting. But I mean, it's got really nice landing gear on it, man. And
yeah, it's Cavalier. It's a nice plane.
Yeah, and you probably saw Marshall fly
looking model
somewhere.
I think I did in Atlanta, and it flew well.
Yeah, and it's not a pig either, man.
No, Marshall built some pretty planes.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's around 60 ounces. I can weigh it if I had to, but I would. It's not as heavy as my SB11, which is 66. I know that.
Wow, that's nice.
So I think this could be a restoration plane, but Tony wants this for his grandson. I'm just more interested in the motor because I told him, I said, if you're going to hang it on a wall, you should probably get some money out of this motor. Put a dummy motor in it and get some real money out of the motor.
Yeah. Is that a carbon fiber prop?
Yeah, there's a Bali on there. It's a Bali 12.4.
Yeah, might as well get that off there, paint up a wooden prop and stick on there.
Right. Well, and there's a spinner too, man. There's value there. And
there, your picture's good.
I've been trying to help Tony sell a lot of this stuff. I actually went over there today to buy another Cyclone from him. He found another Cyclone in a bag, brand new. And that's why I went to meet him. And when I got there, it turned out the Cyclone that he had is an 061, right? So that's bad news for me, but good news for him. It's bad news for me because they're not legal in half A combat. You can't fly anything over an 051 in half A combat. The 061 is a free flight motor. But this was, this is brand spanking new, never been run, never seen fuel. And I was like, I wanted to buy it, but I can't use it. But the good news for you is if you put this on eBay, you're going to get $300 for this motor. Because that's what they go for. That's what a brand new Cyclone goes for. So Tony was happy to hear that, at least.
Where do you even get a new Cyclone? Do they still make them?
You don't. You can't. They haven't been made in over 10 years.
That's what I figured.
Longer than that.
I wanted to get one for Stunt, and I just can't find one.
No, you can't. You can't buy them. Wow. You can't get parts unless you find them. They just come up. So this one, it's rare as henties. It's a brand new 061 free flight motor is what it is. And so some free flight guy is going to pay $300 for that motor. I mean, I said, start the bid at $275, and you'll be surprised where it goes. I'm like, this thing's going to go through the roof, because he was offering it to me for like 175, and I'm like, I can't do that to you. I can't take it because I can't fly it in the events that I fly because it's not legal. It's too big for Half A Comet. And I said, Tony, you're going to get another 150 over what you're offering it to me for. I said, just put it on the bay and let it go. Go make money on it. You know, he's been very fair with me on the stuff that I bought from him, but I'm not trying to take advantage on stuff I know is worth money and get it super cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I mean, I could have bought that
Good for
motor.
you.
I could have bought that motor and been like, ha, 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 yeah, man, I just made $150, but I don't want to do that to him because he's been very fair with me. So I want to help him out.
That's great, man.
Anyway,
Sounds good.
That's awesome.
I think PA40 side exhaust is going to come into my possession. I'll get it cleaned up or send it to Randy, and then give Tony a fair price for it. So
very good.
Oh, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Just one more. So Tony had this little baggie with 2 piston and liner sets in it, right? This was just a little tiny small baggie that he had, and these were wrapped in paper towel. And we took them out, and I looked at them, and there's like some Russian writing on the side. And I'm going, man, I don't know what these are. I said, they're probably piston and liners for Russian 15 F2D motor, right? Either Foras or Profis or Zalps or Dorschenkos or AKMs. I'm like, I don't know by looking at them what they are, but they are made for Nelson heads. That's a Nelson head button there. So it's a Nelson plug, and it's an AAC piston and liner, and they're brand new. They're freaking brand new, wrapped up in this old crusty paper towel. And Tony said, what are they worth? And I said, I have no idea. I said, I don't know. I don't even know what they are. I can't tell you what they are, but I can probably find out. So I got on the MACA site and I posted them up, took pictures of everything and dimensions, and the piston measures 592, so it is a 15. And I had 8 or 9 replies all going, these are AKMs, 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 AKM. So AKM was a very popular F2D motor in the 90s and early 2000s. They were made in Russia. And a guy from Singapore messaged me. He's like, I'll give you $200 for both piston and liners.
Whoa. Wow.
And the head. So just like that, this little tiny bag that Marshall Busby's kid found in a box of stuff. We found out what it is, and we got a buyer. And I'm going to put Tony in touch with this guy in Singapore, and they can do secure payment or whatever, and he'll shove them in an envelope, and they'll go to Singapore to a guy that still runs these motors. That still, you know, he's probably got a couple of clapped out motors that he needs piston and liners for. So we found a home for these, and Tony's going to get $200 in his pocket. You know,
very good.
It's better. I hate to see stuff like this just rot or not go to you.
I know. It seems criminal almost.
It is criminal, bro.
In a waste. It's such a terrible waste.
It is. It is. And, you know, Marshall was on the U.S. team flying F2D all through the 90s, late 80s, 90s. And he probably ran these Russian motors and brought a couple back with him. And these were just his spare parts that he bought 25 years ago, you know?
I want to talk to the audience. You know, we probably average about 18, let's say, viewers every show. And I'd like to encourage you to come on in. And if you need to register or have a problem with registering, leave a comment. This is Sparky's channel, Stunthangar YouTube. If you leave a comment, Sparky will answer it. I don't really answer Sparky's comments in his channel. I answer comments in my own channel. But I just want to let you know, the audience, that when we stop streaming, we actually cut up and we have a blast. So, you know, when I was young, and I went to parties, if I was fortunate to find out about the after party, that's where it was really fun. And I'm telling you that when we stop streaming, it's like the after party. Okay, so don't think that watching the show that you're getting the whole thing. You're actually missing out when we start cutting up. So I just thought about that today, and I just want to appeal to you, 15 people out there, to try to get your butt in here, register if you're not a registered member, and come on in and have some fun when we stop streaming. That's it.
Fair warning. I may swear at the after party.
Don't tell them who's on the after party because a lot of them might run away, man. If you say who's in the after party, they might stay away.
Maybe.
And when
maybe.
Steve says May, he really means
Steve.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Some
Hey,
people
Steve,
take a beating at the after party.
Right. Hey, Steve, that was the Marvel. It wasn't Marvel Mystery Oil. I missed the brand of what that oil was.
No, this is Marvel Air Tool Oil.
Gotcha.
Marvel Mystery Oil won't work.
Yeah,
Air Tool.
Air tool.
Okay.
And
Steve,
what it is
I use that for after run oil, Steve. That's
Right.
my
What I use.
oil.
Right, and it frees stuff up. But what you can do with it is that you put it in as after run oil, and I only use mine into the season.
Sure.
You put it in there, you flip it through, you put your glow plug on, it'll burn out all the excess. This stuff will actually burn in a glow motor.
That's good.
You use it at the end of the season.
Yeah, because I run caster in mine, so I never have no rust problems.
Oh, well, I know I use it. I use it just about every time I fly because I never know when I'm going to fly that airplane again.
Well, yeah, if you do it that much, but yeah, I mean, for airplanes that I fly and stuff like that, then at the end of the season, or if I, don't think I'm going to fly them anymore, little squirt of that in, flip it around, and then run it out because you can't get too much in it. And then when you go to fly it for, it may smoke just a little bit more for a few seconds, and then it's out of there. But yeah, I don't know if any of the other air tool oils work. I just know this one does, and we've been using it for years.
Good tip.
Me too.
But my brother figured out it would burn. Everybody's like, "What?" So yeah, we just burn out the excess, and you're good to the next season with them or whenever. I mean, I got stuff in my cabinet, just been in there for years, and they still turn over and everything fine.
That's good. Good to know.
Oh, Steve, that motor I was trying to tell you about last time is a YS 45. That is the heaviest 45 I've ever seen.
I almost bought one of them here not too long ago, but it went over 300, and it's like, I don't know if I'll ever stick it in an airplane or not.
Where was it, on YouTube? I mean, eBay?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put mine on eBay because I don't need it.
It was brand new in the box, and
Oh no, mine's not brand new. Mine's been run.
Yeah, this was brand new in the box, and
this thing.
The guy had that, and he had the 60. He didn't have the 61, the long stroke. He had the 60.
Yeah, this thing will take a Chaos 40, break the roll 40 feet, pull straight up, and just go straight up out of sight with it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is a strong son of a gun, but it is heavy.
But it's like this is the the OS version that we ran. And that's the pumper. Has a huge.
Well, that's what this is. It's got a pump on the side of it.
Yeah, look at the intake on that.
Yeah, you throw a dog through that hole.
Yeah.
I got a 60 like that, and you throw a dog through it.
Yeah, I always wanted the YS. But at the time I was doing it, everybody's like, oh, the tanks blow up and all this. And
yeah,
I stuck with the OS.
I heard all that crap too. But
YS.
I think I won it at a contest. I don't remember whether it was a pattern contest or scale or semi-scale. You leaving, Charles?
No, I just want to. You guys stop talking. I want to say something.
Okay, go for it.
Hey, Steve, I haven't seen you in a long time. And also, Peter, he has a question. I just want to say hi to Steve and then
Peter's
give
there. How about that?
Peter to say something. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah. Just going back to what Mike was saying, how to identify that airplane.
How you doing?
I do not believe it's a Mo Best. It kind of almost like it sort of looks like it, but no, it's not the Mo Best. That's the wing is not nearly as on the wingtips, not nearly as sharp. That's the Mo Best there. And
Huh.
of course the
Boy, that looks like it, Peter. That's pretty
Does it?
close.
I think that's it because
But that has wing gear, though. That has wing gear.
Marshall. Well, it does have wing gear, but Marshall had a habit of modifying things a little bit, just like I do. And
Peter,
I have one that has a wing gear as well. I mean, a fuselage gear as well.
I think that's it, Peter.
Okay. So that's Larry. If that is, it's some sort of modification of Larry Cunningham's Mo Best, and that was a big profile airplane. The plans are on Stunt News someplace. I just can't remember
I have them downstairs. I'll go pull a set and take a look at it.
Peter, I'm looking at your picture and I'm looking at the airplane, and boy, that sure looks like it.
I think it is.
The canopy is a little different on Marshall's airplane, but man, that wing and tail and that long nose, that sure looks like it, man. The elevator looks the same.
Yeah,
I think that's it, Peter. For real.
Yeah,
Thanks for the pick.
Airplanes out there with that long tail. That's why I thought about the Cavalier. I mean, the long nose. Cavalier has a long nose, and a few other ones. But yeah, that does look like it.
Peter, can you zoom in on the tank at all and get it? Because this tank is recessed on the airplane of Marshall's. Like it's inset.
Yes,
even though it's a pro.
It was.
This is on Stunthangar. Somebody posted a Mo Best, but it is
okay.
It's inset into the fuselage. It's as big as I can make it.
So is this one. The tank is inset into the fuselage on this airplane as well.
Show that. You got to remember, guys, there was 4 versions of that thing published.
I'll turn around and I'll copy the link on Stunthangar, and I'll put it up in the chat box. This way you can take a look at it for yourself.
Yeah, I think we got a winner here, guys. I think it's a Mo Best.
I think it is too.
Good digging, Peter. Good detective work there, buddy.
Now I gotta figure out how to. Okay, bring it off. There we go. I'll turn around and post that link.
Hey, Robert. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
Doing great. Where you been?
Fantastic day of fun. Stored some good modeling stuff. Got a nice engine rebuilt. Everything's been fantastic.
Ah, great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Go ahead, huh?
I always wanted a Sterling Spitfire, and a couple of years ago, I traded off an hour of flying for this one.
Nice.
Now it's an absolute piece of crap. Some guy tried to make a scale plane out of it. It's 52 ounces. It's got batteries and lights and bullets in it and all kinds of crap. And I was going to rebuild it entirely to, because I always wanted one. And then yesterday I came across a late birthday present. A buddy of mine with his hobby shop down in I was flying. New in box Sterling Spitfire kit.
Nice.
Half-ass decent wood.
Really?
What's
I've
really
heard that's
cool,
really nice turbo wood.
I said half-ass decent. The block's okay. I don't know about the rest. Haven't dug it all out. What was really cool, though, is it came with the original piece of crap came with this engine, which I thought was maybe just an RC had put onto a McCoy 35, like everyone thought. But I'd also heard rumors that there was a McCoy 35 combat engine built with a blue head. And I took it to my buddy Paul Jabot night before last. We tore it down. They put the piston in backwards and the back plate in sideways, all kinds of stuff. But we tore it down. It's got something he's never seen, and he's rebuilt God knows how many thousands of engines. highly polished intake ports with a splitter, huge intake ports. The cylinder head, fins and sleeve are one part casting. It's got a hemispherical head with the baffle, and
That is the combat special.
piston itself is a Hemi.
That is the combat special.
The blue head was an
That's what
RC.
we thought. Everyone had said, "Oh no, it's just a blue head stuck on it," but it's a combat special.
Yeah.
So that's going on to my smoothie ARF that I've got. And I figure it's going to be nice and should have the grunt.
You should get an old combat kit and put it on there.
Yeah, well, I got lots of those to go too. But right now the priority is this stunt plane. So I got a smoothie ARF, 2 SV11 ARFs, and a brand new SIG twister kit to fancherize.
You need to think about that back plate on that thing's not on there right.
No, it is on there right. If you look on it, it was on wrong. It's written right on the top there. Top.
I'll be darned. Man,
what it is that there is an additional clearance for the intake port.
Mine, that's the clearance for the skirt of the piston. But that
You
if it's
think
got
so,
top
but
on it, that's
it's
top.
not. It's written top right there.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
says
if you
it.
can see
It says it. Yeah, I see it. It's
now. So when I got it, somebody had built it all ass backwards, and they had it on at about a 45-degree angle. Thankfully, with it being an interference fit, they hadn't turned it over hard enough to bugger it. But I figured this is a jewel.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, one thing.
It solved the mystery.
One thing about that Sterling Spitfire you got, be sure and check your incidences when you build it. I did the plans for Walter Umland, and those incidences between the engine thrust line, the wing, and the stab and elevator, they're so far off. They're just, if you don't know to do that, you won't have one that'll fly right.
Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely brought in. I have a laser level if I want to use it. You know, it's it'll be brought in 0-0. The one that I got that I was going to tear apart and rebuild. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the off my iPad, but the way it was built, absolutely something horrible. Thankfully, it had never been flown. I've never seen hinges bigger than I don't know if I can get them into the picture there, but on that, they're at least an inch long. There's only 2 of them per flap. You can deflect the flap up and down. See the tissue flex. The stab is about the same. The lead outs, fortunately, have never been tied. And they're just like 12 thou, maybe 15 thou flying wire. Just everything is just horrible. For display on my wall, I put on, I think I'm going to fly it with it too. Just for the heck of it when I build it, because it fits in there so nice. I have several Super Tiger 35s. So I'm probably going to run one of them in it because it kind of fits in there pretty nice. But the guy drilled out a whole bunch of holes at all kinds of angles. One of them just happened to fit, so I could stick my 35 in there just for poking on the wall with a propeller on it.
Oh my God!
But it's just a piece of crap. Now because I always wanted one, I was going to put the ton of time into rebuilding this one, but I think I'll just clean it off good, throw a coat of wax on it, put it on the wall, and build a new one.
There you go. Hey, Robert, how did that motor work out for you that I sent you?
I haven't run it yet, but my God, that thing's tight. It well, not tight, but tough. I mean, it pops really nice. It's going to be good.
Okay.
I'm happy. I've got 4 of the 36X plane bearings now, and 1 of the ball bearing Baldy. So I'm pretty well set for slow combat or old time nostalgic fast combat.
Okay,
Still
well,
looking for a G21 34 hell of it.
Hey, Steve,
I've got
what
a
have you been up to?
G2135.
Say again.
I've got a G2135.
Who is that?
That's me.
I might be interested in it for the heck of it, just for nostalgia. I mean, that's just right to stick on the nose of a Nemesis 2 or a Bosta.
Yeah, it's the Bush version, not the ball bearing one. It's the C35.
That'd be fine for nostalgic. That one.
Okay.
Oh, C35. I'm always
Yeah.
interested in them. I have 4 or 5 of them right now. That's what's in the nose of this thing.
Okay. Well,
actually, in the nose, the brand never run C35.
Message me on Stunthangar and we can talk about that one. And if you have any issues with the 36X that I sent you, again, just let me know and I'll make it right. Okay.
No issues at all. Like, geez, none.
Okay.
That thing, it pops over just beautifully. I know it's going to be a good engine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I think you got a delay.
I can hear you.
So where you been? What have you been building?
Nothing lately since I finished up the so not much right now. Been working too much. Business is busy, and I'm just doing a lot of work. And I built my last stove, and that was the last since then.
Okay.
So I got
thought
this
maybe
level,
IKEA.
which I wanted to fly this year for VSC. Well, I wanted to go to VSC this year, but I heard that they canceled that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
they
a
weren't
note that
canceled
was
for
sent out
21.
that VSC got canceled because of the COVID.
Yeah,
And
they
21,
can't. There's a limitation of 10 people at the park, and that won't work with BSC.
No, 100 per class.
Mike, you still wanna talk, Mike, or did you have another question, Mike?
I do. I have two things, but something just rang my bell here, and I wanted to share. And I'm not talking out of church here because this was posted on social media. How many of you know Don and Sheila Cranfill from Texas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don's an old combat guy, and he's been flying stunt for the last few years and kicking ass and taking names. And of course, Sheila works every contest as a tabulator. She was down in Baton Rouge. She was at Arkansas. They come to Huntersville. They work, Sheila works the Huntersville contest, and Don flies in the Huntersville contest.
Yeah.
Of course, they're at the Nats, and Sheila is a tabulator at the Nats as well. So everybody knows who the Cranfills are. Without touching on hot topics, they're both very ill right now, and they've been hospitalized.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
They're both pretty ill and in the hospital. So just if you know them,
That's a
even if
shame.
you don't know them, they support Control Line in so many ways, and Sheila's such a big help wherever she goes. Just keep them in your thoughts and prayers while they're
Just
going
enjoying to be around both of them.
through their recovery. And like I said, I'm not talking out of church. This has already been posted on social media. I didn't see anything mentioned on Stunthangar about it, but they are both ill and hospitalized. So just keep them in your prayers and pray for a speedy recovery for both of them.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Mike, you're in contact with. Can I ask you to do a favor on behalf of all of us on Hangout or Stunthangar in general, and maybe send them a mutual blessings and best wishes from us?
Absolutely, I've already done that. I mean, I'm friends with Sheila on social media and some of her family, and this basically came from the combat community because Don was a huge combat guy for years and years and years and years and years. He just switched to stunt, I would say in the last 10 years, and Don has been kicking ass and taking names everywhere in
He won
stunt.
the Nats at Advance. I remember seeing.
Yeah, well, he's an expert flyer now, and he's kicking ass in expert at local contests, and they live in, I believe they live in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And Sheila always travels with them, and Sheila always works contests. She's a tabulator. She puts in those long hours counting scores and tabulating stuff, and they're big in the control line stunt world now. So just keep them in your thoughts, and I'll send good wishes their way from everybody at Stunthangar. For
Great.
sure.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
thanks, Mike.
Awesome.
How old is he?
Thanks, Mike.
Do what, Steve?
How old is he?
I would say Don is in his late 60s, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
thinking.
he's got to be, because he's retired now. I mean, they go to so much stuff that they have to be retired because they do so much. They're everywhere, man. I mean, they go everywhere. They're at, like I said, they're at Huntersville,
Wow.
they're at the Minutes, they're at Paducah. Well, when Paducah was still going,
Yeah.
they were in Canton, Georgia. They were, Baton Rouge, Arkansas, Texas, Dallas, all that. I mean, they go to contests all the time. And, they travel with Joe and Colleen Gilbert. They're all, Joe and Colleen are always at contests. And Colleen is another one who's a wife who tabulates and works. She spends her weekend tabulating scores so her husband can fly. And Doug Patterson or Joe Patterson, depends how you know him. He's either Doug or Joe, but Doug and Joe and his wife, they're another couple that Joe doesn't even fly. He's a judge. He goes to contests to judge. He doesn't even fly anymore. And then his wife works with the tabulators. There's a lot of people unseen behind the scenes that make contests happen. And, Don and Sheila are two of those people. So just keep them in your prayers while they recover.
What plane was that he was flying? You remember what plane he flew? He had a little gray one down at, I think it was gray down at Georgia, but I can't remember what the heck it was.
Well, Phil, I'd have to know what event it was because Don flies every event there is, man. He flies old time. He flies classic. He flies N30. He flies profile. He flies Pampa.
Well, it would probably have been N30 because I was only there Saturday.
Yeah, I mean he flies everything, and he has a different airplane for every event, and they all run. They all run like a top. They all run like a top, and Don is no slouch, man. He's right up there.
He does a nice finish.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, that's because he's a combat guy. He spent all that years flying combat. That's why he's such a good stunt pilot.
Hey, so has anyone ever tried
used to a combat plane?
Has anyone ever tried to get that carbon fiber out of England that Tran talks about?
No, after you told us how many pounds they charge for it, they charge for it.
Well, what's crazy is that this stuff here, they sent me right away, and that unidirectional stuff.
Still waiting on it.
Well, I got to fill out something for the United States government or whatever to get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid for it. They sent me this thing, and I don't know if I got to somehow try to print it out or what.
Wow.
And who I have to mail it to. But I was hoping Tryon got on tonight and ask him about it. So, but they can send it to the United States and France and this and that. But there's only a handful of countries that this stuff can be sent to, and I'm like, well, what in the hell are they using it on that makes it to where you can't get it or it can't be imported into some countries?
The Joker motors that Tran uses. I tried to order 2 of those, and they tell me they can't ship to America. I can't figure that one out.
Well, that's the same thing. I got a muffler coming from Kaz.
Yeah,
one of them carbon fiber mufflers.
Right.
Yeah. It can only be shipped on a ship.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's gonna take 2 to 3 months to get here.
Yeah, I ordered a
Probably
you
an airship.
from Kaz. That's what he told me, like 2 months.
Yeah, so
Good
it's
grief.
coming,
Yeah,
but
my engines took that long.
it's
Good
like,
grief.
why in the hell does it have to go by a ship out of Japan? That just seems crazy.
That does. I'm gonna have to find out how Trayan gets the jokers though. He must get them through another country because they can't send it directly to America for whatever reason.
There's a lot of
That's the
trade
joke's on
embargo.
us.
There's a lot of suppliers for that sort of thing that you can order from directly in the United States and not have to go.
Yeah, because
Good night.
I did get this in about 6 days, so that wasn't too bad for
Steve,
From
Steve,
England?
I get a RC Japan order in about 10 or 12 days, man. You know,
from where?
RC Japan, you know,
Yeah, I know
10,
that's
12, 14 days at the most from Japan. And then even Hobby King stuff I order, you know, the carbon fiber landing gear from Hobby King.
Yeah.
Even it said coming from China. It's not USA warehouse, but from China. I get it in about 20 days. 20 days from China.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why Kaz is having such a hard time sending his stuff. I ordered this in March, and he's been trying to figure out how to get it shipped. And he finally got a hold of me a week ago and said, okay, I can get it shipped now, but it's got to go by boat, and it's going to take 2 months, 2 months or better. So I'm like, well, okay, I waited this long. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've heard that.
And it's a tank?
It's a carbon fiber muffler.
Carbon fiber muffler. Well, I mean, be glad that you can get a carbon fiber muffler in 3 months, because them poor guys in Australia and New Zealand, think about it, trying to order a control line kit from Brodak or something, or SIG. It's ridiculous. They have no suppliers. We're pretty fortunate here in the U.S. with the amount of stuff that we can get locally, you know?
Yeah, I just wondered if someone, I was going to ask Ryan, he might know, because it's like, I guess that this carbon fiber must go into drones or something that the government, tracks or whatever. I mean, I ordered 2 meters. It's like that won't make a very big drone, but I don't know why it's, why they do that, but I guess it doesn't matter the quantity you get. But yeah, but
Len, have you ordered any in England?
Pardon me?
Just trying to butt in here with on this subject. Question, Len, if you've ordered anything from England in the last couple of years.
Yeah, this is what I'm dealing with now. This comes out of England.
Yeah, but I'm seeing there's difference on the Canadian or American connection, because stuff I've ordered from England over the years, I've gotten within a week. In the States, it's typically I'm doing good if I get it in 4 or 5 weeks. And I'm just wondering if Len's ordered anything from England lately, because I haven't for about 2 years.
Yeah, well, I ordered this from England, and it got here in like 6 days. This one did. But the outer carbon fiber, I got to fill out some kind of form for the government. And it says...
How about you, Len? Have you gotten anything from England lately?
I stay with you.
No. No. He said no.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, that's what Robert was asking.
A lightweight fiberglass cloth too, but I haven't gotten around to ordering any yet. But I've got stuff in the 1 3/4 ounce, 2.5 ounce range of carbon fiber, but I want to get some lighter weight stuff in the cloth to play around with some molding. So I'm still for a source on that.
Hey Jeff, did you hear that they're going to make a 75th anniversary Fox 35.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I heard McCall is going to make a.
Wonderful.
You better buy a dozen of them.
I'm going to buy about 25 of them.
No.
Why? They're just going to be the
What
60
you gonna do with
60th ones with a new stamp on the side of the case, man.
It won't matter. There'll still be Fox 35s. They'll still run great.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
just wonder if it's coming
Paul
with a
and I
new,
were laughing
new
about
style
that the
needle
other
valve
night
in it.
when we were here. Paul and
Are
I
we
were
still-
laughing. Two
Are we still
brand new
streaming,
silver
Charles?
cases.
We're still streaming, yeah. But I'm gonna
Okay,
end
then.
the stream. I was gonna end the stream pretty soon. So
It's
we can
gonna
start
be-
the after party.
It's kind
I'll
of
be
fun
nice
to.
to Jeff on the Fox 35 then. I won't say anything till the stream ends.
Not
It's
yet.
kind of fun.
We'll wait for the
It's
after
it's over.
party.
Hey, Charles.
The after
Oh, go
party.
ahead.
Charles, while
Oh,
we're
Mike,
still live, I got
Mike.
one
We're
more
still
show and
alive.
tell.
We're still alive, you guys. Okay, we haven't started the after party yet. So anybody out there in the audience, if you want to come on in, you got to come in now. Then I'm gonna close it out.
No,
We'll
Mike,
start
you're
the after
welcome.
Charles,
party.
I got one.
Yeah, you're gonna. Otherwise, you're gonna miss it. Yeah, you're
Hold
gonna
on.
miss it. It's gonna be
I
interesting.
got one more show and tell for you guys tonight.
All right, Robert. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, here it is. If you can see it,
I see a coil.
just sort of
I see a
What are you
hand.
doing, bud?
No, he
Thumbs up.
closed up.
laid it out my workbench. Old blueprints. Actual Al Raby blueprints of the Bearcat, the original.
Oh, nice. Oh, very nice.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I see your
And the
rafters.
I
Mustang.
don't know where the heck they are.
Club auction thing.
Um,
So I ended up with some other drawings. I figure these are pieces of control line history.
What
Oh,
is
yeah.
it? Which one is it?
Is it Bearcat 3 or 4? Is it molded sides or is it slab sides?
Those are
Can't
the original Al Raby drawings for a P-51 Mustang and the Bearcat. Those were the ones he built around
Cool.
the Super Tiger 46
Okay.
before he went big scale
Yeah.
with Snagglepuss and all that.
Snaggletooth.
Snaggletooth was actually a 46.
So
Yeah,
I figure for
Snaggletooth.
history's sake, studying it, I'm going to save them from the burn barrel.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
Good save.
It is a Mustang. What's the What Mustang? What number is
So
the
I'll
Mustang?
probably get them and put them on the grab and go sites. That's his 1968 Mustang, I think it is. So it's Mustang 1
Okay.
in the series.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
original
very-
classic. That's one that's classic legal, and it's slab sides and it's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's still a good airplane, but it's not Snaggletooth.
Go ahead, Mike.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I want to catch Phil and John Miller before they get off here and before we stop. I want to share. So there was a kit in Marshall's stash, and it's a Walter Umland scale kit. I took a picture of it. I got on Walt's site, and I could not find this kit on his site. And then I found out why, because this was number 18 of 20 that Walter Umland cut. It's a scale Fiat. I don't even know how you say the name. CR32 Fresia. Are y'all seeing it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Has anyone seen this scale kit by Walt Umland before?
No.
No.
Nope.
So take a good look at the picture and tell me what you think you know about it or what you can. It says 2005 is what I see, and kitted in 2006 down there in the bottom left. And it, like I said, it's not on Walt's site. When I saw this kit, when Tony showed me this kit, I said, oh, I can find out what it is. I'll just go to Walter's website and look, and it's not listed anywhere. And then we noticed today that it was a special limited edition kit in the bottom right. This is number 18 of 20 kits only made by Walt. Is this a desirable scale kit? What do you think this would sell for? I guess is what I'm asking, because Tony's going to put this up on one of the auction sites, and he needs to know like what he's looking at. And I think, all of Watt's kits they're $150, right? Just for any laser cut kit that he has. What are your thoughts?
Mike, is this a short kit or a full kit?
I don't know. We got to read it. I think it's a full kit. I don't see
anywhere. By the not included list, it sounds like it's a full kit. In which case it's pushing $300, comparable to a new kit. The full kit of this Spitfire I just got, the old Sterling one, is $250 Canadian. Just sold a used one.
Wow.
And so it's at least $200 American, regardless, for that Freshia kit. It can't be a penny less.
Did anybody notice this under where it says kit includes? If you look at the very last dot, it says a CD with over 350 photos of the prototype construction up to its main flight.
Okay.
There's a CD included in the kit.
Wow.
Well, look at the bottom line of the requirements and specs.
That's a serious scale kit, because when you go to scale, you gotta have
a muffled 25 to 35, not a 40.
You'd have to get a hold of some of the scale flyers.
And do you see it's a semi-scale profile?
I want to see it.
Profile.
I want to see it do a loop.
Okay, profile brings it way down.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just trying to get ideas here, and so I can tell Tony where he's at on this, man. This is, obviously it's 15 years old, 14 years old. But there's only 20 of them made. I mean, it's not in the picture, but off to the right, it is actually signed by Walter Umland, and it says 18 of 20 in the green mark.
You're going to have to get a hold of these scale guys, because they do have a profile standoff scale or semi-scale or whatever they call it. And they have
profile scale.
And they have it in different sizes. They got 049 and they got twin 049s and all that kind of stuff. But
no, that's
if you can get a hold of Jeff Truxler, he might know about it, because he judges
Jeff
at
would know.
I mean, it would be my guess that if only 20 of them were made.
Regardless,
Mike,
$150 minimum, Mike.
Mike.
There's no way it's worth any less than that.
Okay.
John. Most of Walt's kits are low production. His best one that he ever did, I think he had less than 100. So, but I think he's right. If he's going to take it to an auction site like an eBay or something, I start off with $100 to $150 to begin with, and let it go from there.
Tell him don't get too discouraged if it takes off slow, because that Giesecke Nobler took off and it was at $60. It was up for 18 days and it was at $60 for 16 days. In the last 2 days, it went to $236.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I just want to help Tony. I want to help Tony get the most money that he can out of this stuff, and that was one of the jewels that was in there. He's got a SIG chipmunk kit, and I said, just put that on eBay. You'll get $75, $100 for it, whatever. But I saw that Walter Umland kit.
That's about right.
I saw that Umland kit the last time I was there, and then I went to look it up and couldn't find it. And then when I saw it was 18 of 20, that's why I took the picture so I could do you think I should put a picture of it in the scale section on Stunthangar and see if anybody else has one, or has
Yeah,
anyone built
yeah,
one or
more
seen
about
one?
it. They'll know more about it, Mike. He probably did that for scale, you know. And can you check the plans? Is it a 3-wire kit and all that?
We haven't opened the box because it's still sealed. We didn't
Oh,
crack
okay.
it. It's
Yeah,
still
so
taped up the way that the Marshall got it from Walt. I mean, so I didn't even crack the seal on it.
I'd go
No, I
into
wouldn't.
scale and find out if it's a 3-wire, which it probably is, and it was probably made especially for scale, and it's going to be the scale flyers that are going to want it.
Okay. All right. Well, and I do know, since it's Walt's kit, it's laser cut and it's all AAA content balsa, right? I mean, it's not junk.
Well, it depends on when it depends on when it was made, because his first ones were not laser cut. I think this is one of his early ones. But he did an absolutely beautiful job of hand cutting.
Laser cut.
Handed everything.
AAA grade balsa and birch plywood, laser cut balsa and plywood parts.
Good enough then.
It is laser cut. It is laser cut.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
If it's anything like my Steve
On
Fury
the box,
I
does
got from
it say nylon bell crank?
the Jewel.
Okay, one at a time, guys. Len and then Rob.
On the box, say nylon bell crank.
Upper wing, lower wing. It doesn't say, Len. I don't see
I thought it might.
three-line.
Okay.
I don't see 3-line bell crank on there anywhere.
Say anything about bell crank?
Nothing.
Okay.
Scale guys usually supply their
There
own.
might be hardware not included.
You know what it does say? It says the Fiat CR32 kit has a symmetrical airfoil, making it capable of doing some aerobatic maneuvers without having flaps. So that tells me it is not a 3-line airplane. This is for
me it is.
Why
fun
is that?
scale.
Why that?
It says fun scale, aerobatic, sport flying modeler in mind.
Yeah, it's
I
fun
think it's a
scale.
bislob, or not a bislob, but a 38 special.
No, it's
You
made
know?
for scale.
But a fun
It's made for fun scale. They only have to do
usually has 3-line bell crank.
and they only have to do a few maneuvers. They do a
my
takeoff, a
SC5 has
land.
2.
They got to do 2.
My SC5 is
Have to
just
have
2
throttle.
wires. No, I don't have a throttle.
Okay, so it's
But in
fun scale.
at Brodak, all had to have throttle.
You did. Okay,
Yeah,
you did.
it's a fun scale, and it's a whole
always have
different
to have
class.
throttle.
And I know Jeff Truxler just got a new airplane. He paid big bucks for. It was made in Japan.
How much fun scale have you flown, Steve? Do you know fun scale rules like to the letter, or are
No,
you
I
just,
don't know. I only what I get from Jeff Truxler, but I probably know more.
Okay.
Well, Naomi
Now I
flies
gotta
fun
cast
scale.
Yeah, Len. So you guys fly. You actually fly the event, so you know the rules.
Most definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Thank
have
you,
a
Len.
throttle. Otherwise they knock you huge. You're not gonna. You can't. You have to have a throttle.
Yeah, you do.
You guys, Peter has a question or comment. Go ahead, Peter.
I'm just looking right now at the moment. Hold on. You were talking about the. Let me see. Talking about Al Rabi's models. a while back.
Yep.
He reached out to me and he was asking me to do some graphics for him because he wanted to build a Bearcat. And he said, you send me the do up the graphics and I'll send you the plans. And this is part of the plans that he sent to me. I don't know if they've been published or not, but this is just one page of what he sent me because I did the graphics for him for the model. He says, I want to do a model of the rare bear. So I did the graphics that he could turn around and print out, or at least send to a printer to print out, decals or vinyl graphics or whatever he was going to use. And this was one of the pages that he sent me back when I sent him over the files. I've got, they're not very, obviously they're not very detailed, but this is one of the pages. Just, to comment on the other fellow's plans that he said sent of the Mustang. This is preliminaries of his basically of his Bearcat.
Okay, he's done some big changes from his earlier Bearcats then, because that's a all even thrust line model instead of dihedral, with a low wing.
Yeah, it's inline. Yep. Yeah, it's an inline airplane.
This is like late 1990. This is like 1999, 1999. I believe the file is from.
Okay, because that's very similar to what Chris Cox is doing with his MiGs or whatchamacallit down in the Northwest there is Paul Walker's.
I have the other pages. I just have to find them somewhere. It's been a while. 20 years or so.
Yeah, that's kind of like a Bearcat.
I have an inline airplane here. I'm dying to try.
You'll like it most likely, Lynn. I sure like mine.
Okay, I'm gonna try one. I have one that a guy gave me, and I just never fished it. Just to try, I'm gonna do that. It's one of those.
One of those what?
A K10.
Oh, okay. K10.
Put a Fox
Dixon
on it,
did
you'll
a
be
kit of
happy
that.
with it.
Dixon did a kit of that a few years back, or semi kit, whatever. Speedy.
Fox, you got a 64-inch span.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
Fox
Put
wouldn't
two of
even
them
make it
on it.
roll.
Put two of them on it.
Only.
I'll show you guys. I'll bring it up. Hang on.
Only. Dang, I can't think of his name. Can get away with that. Put two Foxes on it. I don't know what I'm drawing blank.
We were chuckling the other day
Dan
when
Badjock?
I was in Paul's shop.
Dan Badjock. There you go. He's the only guy I've ever seen with a double Fox 35, and his runs well. He's had on two different airplanes.
Didn't he make an inline Fox twin?
Yeah, he did.
They did? Wow.
Yeah,
I knew Dan had one, but I thought he built it.
Fox 35. That was about 4 years ago at Brodax. I think he was flying that.
Oh yeah, Dan flew his for several years. Has flown his for several years. Had it on a big Bearcat, and then he's got it on a P-47. I have a Bearcat.
He's quite the innovator.
Do what?
Dan's quite the innovator, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
Give him a crazy
I'd like to get
idea,
some of
and
those
he'll make it
exhaust
fly.
stacks like he had on his Turbo Reagan. That thing was beautiful. He can sure work metal, I'll tell you that.
I kind of like his stunt. What was that thing? A pulse jet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see that thing fly at night? He flew it in Huntersville at night. It was just getting dark, And I mean, it was a wild sight. See
I
the
bet
flame
it was.
coming out of that thing.
It
See
looked
the
like
flame coming out
the
of the back of that
Martians
thing
were
was wild.
landing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, I want to end the stream, but we can still continue on. You know, we're going to have the after party, and so I want to thank everybody for showing up. And we had a really good show. We had about 19 concurrent viewers, which is we've been trending about 19 to 20 people per show, so that's always a good sign. And we had some good conversations. I didn't get everything in my notes, but we talked about the Vanguard to start off the show. John Miller's been doing some work on his Vanguard. He showed some images of that. And then Mark Newman, we talked about Mark Newman's Magician, and Mike Wonky has show and tell with some airplanes, and also the planes that he made for his son Sam, which is a Christmas gift. And then we have there was a little talk about running mufflers on Foxes and McCoys. And then we ended up talking about the scale plane by Walter Umland. So I didn't take all the notes, but it was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and I want to encourage everybody to go out there and have some fun. And oh yeah, I'm sorry, Tom. Oh, thank you. And
Gary,
Tom,
wake up.
Yeah, Tom is Tom Rommel had it. He had a show and tell on his flight streak. So forgive me.
We talked about parachute jumping too.
Yes, we did. We talked about a lot of stuff. Anyways, hey, thanks a bunch. It wouldn't be a show without you guys. That you guys come in here. I really appreciate you guys coming in. And those of you out in the audience, don't forget to support the channel with likes and shares and subscribe. And our YouTube channel has a subscription of only starts at $4.99 a month. That's just 17 cents a day. That helps offset some of the costs and expenses, and you get some unlimited replays of the members only videos and special badges. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Let me get to that off switch here, and I'll see you guys